Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, hi. Oh, I am so ready for this event. At least playing it. For the summoning banner, you know, I was hoping I'd be lucky summoning so far, but it's okay, you know? Later on tonight, maybe. Fingers crossed. Oh man, what kind of chaos is Artoria gonna cause this time? Time to find out. Boop. Okay, prelude. Surprise return. The poet returns from a long journey, only to find a homeland changed. How long of a journey? Rain and wind come hand in hand with evening in Kray's Sturmland. After generations of keepers, a house's spires, decrepit stairwells will always hide moss somewhere in their cracks, no matter how the casters work to keep them clean. Did I see the OP-PV for the event? If that's the one that automatically plays when you first get into it. That one was pretty fun. I especially liked how Artoria was just creeping behind Viviana as one do. Let's see what this is. He thinks of Schwilling Sturm, of the time when the black spire, reminiscent of twisted horns, had yet to be superseded by the newly erected twin spires, when the majestic city was called by a different name. Of the dazzling auburn alleys in the autumn, the kind he'd crossed through in his youth. Still sun's wand or dagger. Nestled in his hands were but a few bound poetry collections and precious hopes of freedom. Not so anymore. Though the storm briefly abates, the spire's peak is still ruinously cold. Moonlight stabs through the drapery like rain, like a nail driven through each and every hope as it springs up. What a shame, he laments. Never again will he see the marigold in bloom. Northern border of Lithinian, in face, the capital of Kray's Sturmland, 1100. This place looks familiar.
Marvelous, truly marvelous. A performance of such fluency, as if the moonlight were caressing my cheeks. Herr Eric, what are your thoughts? Martha, why do you treat me so? Why speak of her? It's not as if your ex-fiancé were here, Herr Eric. The callousness in your features stings my heart deep, yet your beauty takes my breath away all the same, such that I cannot forget. I strongly suggest you move your hands away from my waist. People are watching.
Alrighty. What a way to start. Okay. Oh, I did not notice that. Ooh. Permanent loop farming. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Going back to the mines. Gotta collect some more rocks.
Apologies. Did the piece end already? I hadn't even realized. I don't know why, but just now, it was as if I'd been transported back to last autumn, to the day my Martha left me. The sorrow crushed my chest. As I always say, take more walks. Concerts like this may well be rare in Sturmland, but Schilling Sturm is a different story. Sadly, I may not make it to das Kaiser Innensfest this year. As I recall, mein Herr, you've a distant uncle with a seat at the Kurfürstenhof. Could it be you've heard something? I know that Kurfürst No, nothing reliable at least. But the Kurfürst has hardly left his spire once these past months. Even the doctor rarely attends him anymore. While visits from casters serving other houses have only grown more frequent. It would seem almost none of us will be venturing outside of the Sturmland these days. Das Kaiser Innenfest may come every year, but an audience with the new Lenscher, who would dare miss that? I wouldn't dream of it, no offense, but I prefer to spend my dreams with my lovely Martha instead.
Dang, he is obsessed with Martha.
Thank goodness we have Frau Artoria Giallo. Only your cello can grant me a brief reprieve from the pressures of the day. A welcome breath of fresh air. Quite right. How pity that today will be your final concert here. Then let me be drunk on it for a while more, just a while. After all, the storm is nigh again.
If it's her last concert here, at least the guy's not gonna be as obsessed with his thoughts of Martha. Maybe. Who knows?
What are you standing around for? Did the steward not explain your duties? You're to return to the cellar immediately, once dinner is served. Don't disturb the Kurfürst while he's resting.
The stern chastisement fell on deaf ears. The servant walks off in stupor. Down the steps and through the door, like a shell stripped of her soul, she ambles toward the crackling thunder outside.
Hold it. Is that blood in your hands? Is the Kurfürst? Guards, quickly!
Uh-oh.
When will this weather make up its mind? If this keeps up, my firewood will be damp again, and I just put it away. Hank, could you start the fire already? How long could it possibly take when the back garden is right there? Did you forget your wand again?
May I have an extra candle, sir?
Of course. Frau Drost. Will you be waiting here for someone again like yesterday?
Oh, it's her! She's here! Yeah.
The wind's especially strong tonight. You might want to go upstairs. It'll be warmer than there.
It's fine. I haven't been back in so long, but my body's still accustomed to the weather here.
Haha. I just forgot that you're from Sturmling yourself. I saw an article about you in the paper a few years back, and I must say it caught me off guard. And here I thought I would recognize every young'un raised in these parts.
It's not surprising you don't remember me. I'm just an ordinary person. I always have been.
Careful now. Modesty kills. I even thought the article might have been poppycock until you strolled it through the door of my shop. You have the poison grace of a blue blood from up in the spires.
I appreciate what you've done for me over the last 2 days. Herr Muller, especially.
Don't you worry now. I won't tell us so you're here. I know the media's been hounding you ever since your retirement. Look on the bright side, you're in Lithuania again. They only ever headline nobles and their big affairs.
I suppose.
But look at me, keeping you to myself again. Here's your candle. What else will you be needing?
Might you have any more books you could lend me?
You got through that novel already? I'll check the cupboard. Anything you'd like to read next? I've got 2 illustrated guides, a historical fiction, and 5 or so poetry anthologies.
I want to see the illustrated guides.
I'm thinking you prefer the poems. Kurfürst Werner runs his folk poetry society, and all these poets like to turn up as special guests, or so I hear.
No, I'll have the historical fiction, please. After returning, I don't think I could stand any more poetry for a while.
Radio, take this one then, and don't worry about returning it anytime soon. I'll leave you be now.
Ooh, hello.
Hank, you little lost bub. I know you're lazing about somewhere.
I wonder what she's reading. Dear Glut, Embers. It's an interesting tale, though. It doesn't bear much resemblance to actual history. Ah, I didn't notice there were other customers. Guten Abend. How's the pulling treating me? Well, I only did 18 pulls so far. No new 6 stars, but it's okay. It's only 18 pulls, cries. It certainly is a good evening. May I ask your name? Cora Lovenstein. So I take it you've read this novel, Frau Lovenstein? Regretfully, I've only been to the opera adapted from it. By the time it was published, I'd lost my ability to enjoy literature. Oh, she has such a pretty outfit. Ah, your eyes. I apologize. That was tactless of me. Oh, you get used to it after 20 or so years. Besides, it saves money on candles and firewood on nights like these. Do you mind if I sit a little nearer? After 20 or so years? By all means. What warm candle flame? Did it start raining out there? Your clothes are damp. I forgot to take my umbrella. What with the rush I was in? Pardon me if I'm mistaken, but did you come here to meet me? Any targets in who I want to get today? Both 6 stars. I want both. I am greedy. All these years, and business here is still sluggish. Or no, I suppose. Everything in Sturmland is the same as ever. We're far from the capital, catastrophes keep coming, and the weather here lives up to its name. Outside of the special occasions, we hardly ever see many out-of-towners. I still remember the view from the spot by the window. You can see the nomadic plate with the Kurfürst parlor spire, can't you? He should have picked somewhere more out of the way for you. I already did pull out my wallet, that's the thing. But yeah, maybe. Fingers crossed I don't need to spend more than what I spent already. I bought that one pack in the store that was like 50. Which hurts. It does hurt, but you know, if I get the girls, it's worth it. So it was him who sent you. Hold my hand, tight. Listen closely. I hear people, many of them, hiding outside in the gales. You can control the candle flame by your hand, right, Viviana? I can. Then on my mark, please. Let's extinguish. The instant the candlelight dims, the grocer's windows shatter into pieces. The rainstorm outside pours in alongside assorted arts energy, covering a full spectrum of effects. Ooh, congratulations! Viviana grips Cora's hand, struck with the sense that she's sitting on a skiff in the heart of a raging sea. Wave after wave of arts crash down on them, all but blowing the humble storefront to smithereens. Oh, I feel so bad for this grocery store. Yet precisely parting to leave the two of them unscathed. Footsteps clack within the shop. They can't tell where we are. They have to approach to feel us out. Can you sense their positions? Crystal clear. Let me handle this. Candle flame leaps anew from Viviana's palm. The shadows come to life, reaching their limbs through the ruins and spreading across the rubble to pin the looming casters in place. 7, 8, 9. We're safer now. You saved my life. You handled the brunt of it. All I did was tune their arts a little. Now let's get away from here before more assassins come calling. Thank you for the best wishes. Who are they? People here to meet you like me. Will Herr Muller and Hank be in danger? Our old gentleman's in the back garden. He avoided this attack. My colleague will get him to safety shortly. As for her assistant, he's the one who called them. He should have known that dealing in shady business like this would earn him more than a handful of originium ingots. I honestly don't see how I'm any sort of worthwhile target. I'll explain in a moment. For the time being, Viviana, could you let me take a proper look at you? This is a long one. Good luck. Oh no. I mean, oh yes, I am prepared. Totally. You mean? The woman's beautiful face may be unfamiliar to her, but her voice and expression are anything but. Viviana finds herself unable to decline. Cora lifts her hands and feels about for Viviana's cheeks, her fingers tracing a few soft strokes once they alight. Her movements are infinitely tender, the sort one would use for handling the most precious instrument. And as if in response, tears well up in her lusterless eyes. You resemble your mother so much. If only Werner could see you now, how joyous he would have been. So close, too. He spent so long struggling in his sickbed just to see you one last time. Werner, my father? Did he... I'm so sorry, Viviana. Not long ago, your father, Sturmland Kurfürst Werner, passed away in his fire. My condolences, Viviana.
And that was how it transpired, mind her. We were all in our places, keeping watch. Nobody expected the assassin to infiltrate the Kurfürst's room. The assassin? You mean to say the Kurfürst's personal attendant? Ja, mind her.
Oh, okay. 13 stages. Alrighty. Yep, makes sense.
She has been employed and the spire for more than half of her life. The Kurfürst trusted her implicitly, as did we all. Yet without a doubt, she was the last one to have seen him alive. Did anyone else enter the room after the incident? Only the personal bodyguard and the doctor. Did anyone at all step outside? 9. Not one of us set foot outside the parlor spire this evening. We still haven't identified who among them is to blame, so we've locked all the servants in the basement cells for now. Shall I show you the way?
Ooh, now it's a murder mystery.
No need. I've already met with them. Did you question the assassin? Having been under the effects of psychological arts, she has no recollection of her whereabouts. We should try torturing her, otherwise, it's near impossible to determine if she's lying. Well then, are you lying? Me? 9, mind her. How could I? I've been loyal to the Hochberg family for over a decade. Everything I have, I owe to Kurfürst Werner. Then, would you swear that upon the goldeness Gesatz?
Ooh, hello.
Goldeness Gesatz. The Golden Movement. How dare I deceive a Gesatz watcher?
Oh, that's a fancy armor. He does look super fancy. I like the cape especially.
You left the spire after what happened in there. You have the smell of rainwater on you. The hem of your clothes has brushed against the moss in the cracks of the steps outside. 10 years is nothing. You don't yet know the house Hochberg spire well enough, just as you didn't know Kurfürst Werner well enough. The Kurfürst, he summoned you here. The Kurfürst picked up on your disloyalty. You began stirring into action once he fell ill. I only regret that Frau Lovenstein and I were ultimately one step behind.
Mystery solved?
Send notice to the concert master that the Gesatz watchers found that... Arg! It is futile to resist the melody's fetters. Much like your wisdom, your arts are ugly and brittle. Where did you send that thing? Answer me, remnant. Schwillingstu. Is your concert master the one who used psychological arts to influence the attendant? Are they also in Schwillingsturm? The concert master. No, my head! My head! The golden melody now resounds in the deepest parts of your soul. Any intent to disobey, and your mind will collapse beneath its weight. Gesatz watcher, with such absolute power, why must you serve as a thrall to the twin puppets? It is not my melody that restrains you, nor the decree of Kaiser Innern. What you're failing to resist is the will of Lithuanian herself. The will of Lithuanian? Since when did the present-day Lithuanian have even a fraction of the will she should? The Genesis horn, the might of the great Herkunftshorn, will come to enshroud this land anew. Gah!
Well, there he goes.
The feeble sound that death plays. A caster that can see such cries over such a long distance is no ordinary remnant. The Content Master.
Whoever could the Content Master be?
Frau, the ride for Schulingstern is here. Are we leaving right now?
Yes, let's go. The friend who invited me here has just taken the curtain call. I've played every piece I needed to. There's no reason to linger here any longer. Fancy room.
Somehow, without realizing, I've been staying here all this time. Martha, my dear Martha. Oh, it's like I'm dreaming. How long would I have to wait to hear such a remarkable performance again? I've told you people, you're not to disturb me whenever I'm attending a What? Wait, what did you say? I'll be back post-haste. Get my ride ready. I need to see a few friends. And one more thing. I want the wood carving I bought in Crace Lupicarn, as well as the Victorian porcelain I keep in the study. Bring them both. Why such haste? Was the Kerfus not alive and well this morning? The days to come will be an arduous once more. Oh, Artoria, only your music and your beauty can deliver me from this nightmare. The sheer effort I went to just to arrive at her interim abode, only to find she'd already... Please continue. Continue? Who are you? And what are you holding? A wand or a... You mentioned an intent to visit Artoria. I assume you have some relation to her. I am currently searching for her, therefore, I require any and all pertinent leads. You're looking for Frau Giallo too? Are you some fanatic follower of hers? Follower? That is a highly inaccurate description. For the tenets of the law, and on special assignment by the Curia, I must apprehend the fugitive and repatriate her to Laterano. Fugitive? Frau Giallo is a guest of the Curvers, and no matter the rumors from outside, no, I find you far more suspicious. Herrick, are you still well? They put the alley under lockdown out there. Gendarmerie all over. I hear even a Gesaut's watcher went over to the Kerfer's parlor spire. Danke, I'm well enough. I was just about to visit a few Grafen and see what word I could pick off the grapevine. How uncanny can one night get? Damn, my indolent chauffeur. Where is he? At least one small stroke of fortune is that Frau Giallo has already safely departed for Schulingstern. Wait, where did that eerie song to get off to?
He's doing his job, sir.
The fugitive Artoria is no longer here. Executor Federico, continuing pursuit of target. Destination, Schulingstern, capital of Lithuanian.
Ooh. It is time we got going too, Viviana. They'll announce that the Kerfers passed from illness. It's understandable. A white lie to keep the domain in order. I won't be able to attend the funeral, will I? I'm so sorry. You never even got to see him one last time after you rushed back from Kashmirish and everything. And now you can't even go to... the big oof. Mourn him. I'm not even sure I have the right to anyway. Well, yeah, that is terrifying and dangerous type of power. Especially if one's inner desires are currently, like, you know, stuff like, I want to punch a wall, but I'm resisting right now. You know, and then if I let my inner desire out, I will punch holes in the wall. Which is bad and dangerous, but I am resisting, so that's... as an example. I scarcely remember how he looked. In all these years, all the word father meant to me was just the letters he sent to Kashmirish. And yet, I can't help but think that even the letters themselves might well have been written by a retainer in his stead. Your father never once forgot about you. So everyone tells me, including himself. And I'm willing to believe it. But as I read the last letter, I still hesitated. I didn't know if I should, no, if I wanted to come back. You have a tender heart, Viviana. I can't imagine you'd ever decline a dying man's last wish. Or perhaps, it was a spire I wanted to see one last time. Just to see if it still towered over the clouds like I remembered. You can't go back there, at least not for now. For your own safety, we shouldn't remain in Sturmland for too long. Were the ones who took his life and the casters who came for me last night sent by the same people? Not necessarily. With Werner gone, anyone that knows who you are, has reason enough to make a move against you. You're your father's sole descendant. In times of turbulence, neither his enemies, nor his former vassals, nor anyone else potentially in line to succeed him will just leave you be. Then what about you? Why are you protecting me? Think, and you might still recall, child. 13 years ago, upon your mother's passing, I was the one who took you to the Grand Knight territory. Then you're the Imperial Orchestra of Lithanians. Instrument tuner. Quite a convenient role. Ooh, hello, hello. How goes the gacha? Not too bad so far. I'm only 18 summons in. 18 is nothing compared to Blue Archive, where I stood at 195. Ha. I'm just biding my time for that game. Gathering all the luck and watch me get the person in Blue Archive on the 199th summon. And then I can use a 200 on the other person. Yay. But not's fine. The Reich Sorchester's visits symbolize the friendly ties between Lithanian and Kashmirish. No one would think to question a child with an instrument among them. So you saved my life, more than once. It was your father who wanted to, more than anyone. Some months ago, Werner realized his days were waning, and he worried that after he left us, you'd be dragged down as a sacrifice in the power struggle. Your role in this is unique. Whether you choose to return to Lithanian or stay in Kashmirish, the waves would have reached you regardless. He had no choice but to turn to me and Brandt. He hoped that as old friends of his, we could bring you safely to Schwillingsturm. There, you'll be under the protection of the Kaiserinnen. Protection of the Empresses? Ja, that's what Werner wanted for you. Viviana von Hochberg. In the name of your family, you're to serve as the Empress's voice. What if Viviana don't want that? I mean, maybe she's willing, but eh. How's the trip to Lithania going? Well, slowly getting there. A lot is happening right now. Central Lithanian, Kreisenwald, in a town on the outskirts of Schwillingsturm, not far from the city gate.
Huff. I need sleep. Rudiment, why am I on duty again? Those spry young wretches always clocking out early. What excuse do they have today? A new movie? Some underground live show?
That's not a bad excuse, actually. I want to see a new movie. I want to see the underground live show. That sounds fun. I don't blame those dudes.
The moment the months roll over, I'll see that I get a word in with the Baron to speed up my transfer to Schwillingsturm.
Oh, a familiar face.
Hey, you there. What are you doing loitering here this late? I am taking my regular walk. To my knowledge, there has been no new decrees forbidding law-abiding citizens like myself from rambling in the wilds past midnight.
As one do. You know, my casual nighttime walk past midnight in the wilds.
Well, you're not wrong. Just another bored youth going for a walk. Why was I getting so nervous? Am I free to go now? I appreciate your concern. Go ahead. Go on. Be on your... Wait. Why do I get the feeling I've seen you somewhere before? You could be mistaken, after all. You did just tell me that that strolling nighttime youths are as common as anything. Where are you from? By your accent, I'm guessing the Erdika Grafschaft? I was born there, in the countryside. Countryside? What kind of country bumpkin talks like that? Stop being ridiculous! No, now that you mention it, I've never heard any commoner pronounce things the way you do. Say, you wouldn't happen to be a runaway son of some small-time noble, would you? Let me check your ID.
Ah, my ID. Oh, I left it at home. I didn't think I need it during my casual midnight stroll, as one do.
If you're fantasizing about gaining the favor of some aristocrat for returning me, then you'll be sorely disappointed. Has anyone ever told you that the way you talk could seriously piss people off? ID, now. Pardon. I've got my boy's passport right here. Do per use. And who are you? Come on, don't you remember me? I live in the city. That second-hand bookshop guy. Speaking of which, the books aren't quite flying off the shelves, and lately I've been thinking, what about a cafe instead? You must be awfully tired this late on patrol, no? Here, try my coffee. My own brew.
Sip.
My god, the taste! I forgot about that cafe if I were you, for your own sake. As long as it wakes you up. So are you done with the passport? Edmund Holes. That's your full name? Ja. His parents just loved the piano. The keys especially. It was between Ebenholz or Elfenbein. Well, whatever. Be on your way. You think they pay me enough to question a kid's legal name? And yes, give me all the disgusting swill you got left. I need it.
How bad did his drink taste? But if it's effective, it's effective. I'm curious now.
If you'd known that you'd be back so soon, would you have not burned your passport? I regret nothing. You must know, I naturally assumed that whenever you people wanted me back, you'd simply print a second one, or as many as you need. So why did you come back? For the hundreds of thousands of residents of the Erdika Grafschaft, over 100 retainers in the Spire alone, I'm not so far gone than my selfishness that I'd sacrifice them all for my so-called freedom. Which means you can stop it with the jokes, my dear spy. Or did their majesties send you to try me again? See if maybe I'll pour my heart out and wait on them hand and foot. With Das Kaiser Innensfest approaching, Julingstern has been restless lately. Heh. And of course I still have that thing in my head. I know better than any of you that the performance of this ludicrously grating piece is far from over. Listen to me, Meinherr. My mission ends here. Once you head into Julingstern, someone else will pick you up. Maybe you've already realized this, but you had two correspondents. One ordering you to come to the capital, and the other granting you your official death. But it wasn't the same majesty that wrote both. Compared to the first benevolence, the other.
Ebenholz doesn't even let Bagley finish before walking off, as one do. Just before disappearing around the corner for good, the young man waves ta-ta to him.
So you knew. Former Graf Erdika. Are you hoping for a true death this time? I'm getting sentimental now. In all this miserable gray weather. May you... No, never mind. If people like us still have a shred of luck to spare, then let's pray that we never have to meet again.
Okay, that was a pretty long opening. And now, the first place. Let's see what the map looks like. Oh, it's not too bad. Tutu. Though, I gotta admit, it's pretty hot right now. Let me just turn on my fan real quick. I was thinking, it's nighttime. It's gonna be cooler, but no. Okay, fan on. I gotta get a better fan later. This plug-in fan is super duper 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 old. It's ancient. But it's okay. Whew. Noble attendant. Mind dame, you should rest. Just how many times have you repainted this already? If you're reworking the piece, then why not? Why not have me contact the art gallery and ask them to delay the exhibition? You've been so much more spirited since that musician arrived, but to jump straight back into painting, when you've yet fully to recover from your illness, only to work on this piece. Noble attendant, inspiration strikes. When it strikes, you gotta go for it. Is this a night sky? The blacks are so intense, I can't make anything out. What a truly unforgettable shade of night. I see your painting will soon be complete. However, the intense emotions fueling your tireless endeavors are also wearing down your body, and you're in no shape to go on. So, would you like me to continue my performance? Alright, I've heard your answer, as well as your pain, regret, remorse, obsession. In your heart, Lethanian died alongside you that night. The very same night reflected in your painting. Then allow me to play you a dirge, albeit more than 20 years late. Yay for motivational music! Lethanian's capital, Schillingsturm city center. Golden-haired woman. Hello, ma'am. Listen. Every day this hour, the city is filled with all kinds of music. Students stopping by the instrument shops on the way home from school, discussing which of the new instruments has a more stable circuit. Pedestrians getting off work, slowing their pace as their coins jingle into an instrument case in front of a street artist. Young lovers clinking together glasses of wine in restaurants, and stoves steaming in warm houses. Every scene as touching as the last. Evenings in Schillingsturm have always been a source of inspiration for many great musicians. Then shall we add a few more pieces to the program for the celebration? Every year we begin with the Goldenes Gesats, and then perform the same routine classical pieces after. Surely, the people are becoming less and less interested by the year. As ever, the program is up to your majesty to decide. Then let's have a chat with the conductor and the principals after this. By the way, I recall you mentioning that you brought a young lady to see me. Ja, your majesty. This is Viviana, Werner's daughter. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Evie Gegnade, your majesty. Ah, even better than expected. Are you still getting used to Lethanian after you return from Kashimirish? I am grateful for your concern. Lethanian is far more elegant and beautiful than I remember. What I make of the design of this twin empress? Yo, she looks like a goddess. I mean, look at her. She's majestic. And heck, she's also probably super duper tall too, which makes her even better. No need to be so formal. Cora and I often meet outside the spires for a chat, like the one we're having now. You must still be mourning over Werner's recent passing. If we had the luxury of time, I'd much rather you have a chance to relax in the city first. You mean, before you appoint me as an Empress's voice? As you've heard from Cora, this was Werner's request. I am truly honored by the opportunity. The nobles prefer to send me their youngest sons when they're about 10 years of age, but I believe you're fully qualified for the position. And after meeting you in person, I'm even more sure of it. You praise me too highly. Modesty is a virtue, but so is the courage to speak your mind. While I'd be more than glad to fulfill your father's request, I'd also like to hear your own thoughts on this. How do you truly feel about yourself, about Lethanian, and about the future before us?
Your Majesty, I was not aware that you would be entertaining a guest.
It's fine, Brent. This is the time I told you to come over, after all. Tell me about your findings in Sturmland.
Their copy of the Golden Gesatz was stolen from the Kurfürst Spire. The thieves are most likely part of the same group behind the Kurfürst's assassination, who call themselves the Echoes of Herkampfschorn.
Herkampfschorn. The Genesis Horn. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
The Witch King's remains. I interrogated one of their men. They have sent a copy to Schwillingsturm.
To this very city. Cora, how many years have we done Das Kaiserinnenfest? This year will be the 23rd, Your Majesty. So he's been dead for 23 years now. How many of these people working tirelessly in his name have even seen him with their own eyes? It's something I've always found saddening. Just what is it about the Lithuanian of today that fills him with so much resentment? Resentment has never been rational, Your Majesty. Perhaps I should call off this year's event. If they really intend on using the movement to cause chaos in the capital, I don't want anyone who came here for the celebration to come to any harm.
We still have 3 days to go. I will find them and retrieve it.
I should have dispatched several voices to work on this together. Allow me, Your Majesty. The Empress's voice represents the glory and majesty of the Kaiserinnen, so if they were to suddenly show up across the city, they will naturally attract the attention of both civilians and the enemy. But I, or rather, what the people know me for, has nothing whatsoever to do with this matter. An interesting proposal.
Your Majesty, I believe we shouldn't let an untrained...
Brant Rainer, I'm sure you and Viviana will be enough to solve this problem for me.
Ja.
Also, another voice has just brought back a couple of interesting pieces from Kreiswasserland. Ask Hildegard if she would like to come by my tower for a listening session. After all, you're going to go see her after this, yes?
Ja, Your Majesty.
Grandmaster Ioletta has taught you well. I have a feeling that you'll be my favorite voice. Dankeschön. Anyway, I don't need your answer today, but I'll allow you to act as an Empress's voice in the meantime. Of course, any new voices will only officially enter the spires after the celebrations are over, as per usual. Until then, I'll be anticipating your answer. My true feelings. Sadly, our meeting has been as brief as a sunset. Hold on. It's time. Do you see it? The fountain in the plaza? Beautiful, no? It is not simply water splashing along to a melody. The flowing water is itself the medium playing it. I've heard that many of the buildings and streets in Schwillingsturm are themselves instruments. Back in the day, I took a bit of time to figure out a way to keep them stable for decades. It seems that was time well spent. So, you designed them personally? Viviana, no matter what choice you make in the end, I do hope you'll fall in love with this place, as I have. Until then, let Schwillingsturm's afterglow bring you some solace. The afterglow. I want to see the fountain. She had often imagined what kind of city Schwillingsturm would be like. She had a good guess from the novels and poems she read as a child. She understood what it really looked like from the news and foreign television programs. But only now does she stand in the center of the capital for the first time, experiencing the city's lights and shadows, its sounds and scents, colors out of a classical painting, the timbre of accordions playing, and the fragrance of marigolds. It's just like a living poem, surprisingly. The evening in Schwillingsturm is exactly how I imagine it. It's just like a living poem, surprisingly. The evening in Schwillingsturm is exactly how I imagined it. You don't need to involve yourself in this. Her Majesty never gave me a chance to excuse myself before they spoke about it, which means I was already involved. Besides, there are things I'm curious about too. You want to uncover the truth behind your father's death. Not just that. I also wish to find myself within the darkness about to descend upon us. Well, this seems like a decent place to go on a journey of self-discovery. I mean, look at it. It looks pretty. And it smells good. Then, are you already prepared to step into the night? Before I returned, I gave away my entire book collection to a friend of mine. She, too, had just returned to the homeland that once expelled her, and carried with her a certain conviction. I'm sure you'll laugh at me for saying this, but back then, I imagined countless times how she must have felt at the moment. And now I think I have the slightest inkling of that feeling. And another pretty lady.
You have concerns of Lysolot's decision. The Empress's voice is chosen by Evie Geganade have always been qualified, and I will not question her judgment in that regard. Frau Viviana Drost is an excellent caster. I've seen recordings of her skilled manipulations of candle flames and shadows, but her experience in handling actual crisis might be lacking. After all of her experience in battle has occurred on artificial stages. Brant Reiner, your allegiance no longer lies with the Hochberg family. No one is more aware of that than I, your majesty. Otherwise, I wouldn't have simply stood there with a blank stare that night, 23 years ago. I lost the right to choose long ago. The blade and arts of Gesalt's Watcher belongs only to the Goldenest Gesats and to Lathanian. The Goldenest Gesats and Lathanian. What if you could only choose one? The Goldenest Gesats defines Lathanian, and over 1,000 years, the two have never diverged. The movement's melody was created by Lathanians, and it's hardly impossible to alter it.
Is it really that hard to alter it, though? Sounds like a fun challenge.
Herkampf's Shorn certainly did. Bearing but one part of the responsibility necessarily means abandoning the others. Think it through, Brant. No one in this land can refuse to make a choice forever. I will carefully consider your words. There is one more thing. Evigeganade wanted me to ask you if you were free to listen to a performance by the Empress's voices. I will be. Lysolot will probably have fallen asleep by the time I head over, though. Michael. Your Majesty, first things first, I don't want to go to the spire next door for dinner on your behalf anymore. I'm sure you know she doesn't like me at all.
How bad are you, Michael?
Enough of your jests. Continue keeping an eye on the happenings in the city. Do you need me to cooperate with the Gesat's Watcher and the unofficial Empress's voice, or the opposite? I already told you. Continue, right? Got it.
Well, she's also beautiful. She looks more, I would say, intimidating because her outfit looks more like a military outfit, but it's like, yes, ma'am, I will listen to you, ma'am.
Did you see that just now? Frau Seaman, she... and those black paintings too.
How horrid. Everyone's saying that it's a curse from His Majesty.
Move, all of you. Don't crowd in here.
The road ahead is closed and the gallery will not be open to the public today.
Send a reply to Graf Joseph. The Gendarmerie will bear the costs of the gallery's damages. Ja, Captain Loris.
Us see you later.
Right. Did you see the contact details of the Fraulein who lost her necklace the other day? The girl's the editor-in-chief for the Kunstgeschwinglingsturm. Please ask her to leave some space in their next issue for a presentation on, well, Frau Siemens' posthumous work. A presentation? Invite the critics to use their imaginations. Frau Siemens was creating a new work with her blood, sweat, and tears, and unfortunately ended up also giving her life to the canvas and succumbing to exhaustion. Her final piece is certainly deserving of some sort of praise.
Oh, that was the one who was making a painting, who was very, very motivated. Okay.
Unfortunately, this incomplete masterpiece will not be exhibited to the public, as per her final wishes. I can only hope for the article to have no mention of His Majesty's name.
So, what do you think is the actual reason for Frau Siemens' demise?
Who let you in? Wait, the candle!
Technically, the title issued by the Kashmirish Knights Association no longer belongs to me after retirement.
I don't care what the Kashmirans think. A few years back, they were hiding you in the snow. I wrote a few letters of protest to the Nova nightclub. And when I later found out about your retirement, I drowned myself in drink for a few days, behind the captain's back. So that's why you were slacking off back then. But I overlook it for the sake of our distinguished guest.
Guten Tag. Vice Graf Loris Borden.
A pleasure to meet you. Pime, pass the order. This lovely lady is the gallery's sole visitor of the day. Tell the men to keep watch outside, and not to interfere with her movements. Right away, sir.
Oh, he's so lucky meeting his idol.
When Frau Lowenstein greeted me earlier, I had no idea their majesties had actually appointed another special envoy.
I hope you can keep this a secret.
Please rest assured. Although, this is such a small accident, so why did it spring the Kaiserin's secret envoy into action?
An accident? Is that the conclusion of the Gendarmerie's investigation?
We did the forensics, and Frau Seemann did indeed die from exhaustion. According to her tenants, she went without food or rest for multiple days on end. I can't help but admire her spirit. Such a dedicated artist is hard to come by, even in Athenian.
This work must have been extremely important to her then.
Frau Seemann has not presented a new work for more than 2 decades. She then suddenly decided to work on this painting, even notifying the gallery in advance that would personally unveil it today, on the first day of the exhibition. I am sure you know what happened next. When the audience arrived, they were greeted only by the artist collapsing in front of her painting.
What about the painting itself? Was it completed?
A difficult question to answer. You better see with your own eyes. I can only say that this subject was an unexpected surprise.
Is this a brochure for the exhibition? Vertad des Hexenkönigs. Did the artist title her work before completing it?
To be honest, many of the visitors came rushing here just because of the name.
I'd have thought Lithuanian would find it quite unwelcome.
I'm guessing you haven't been here for long.
How bad was that painting's name?
Mm-hmm.
I'd only just returned a little while ago.
No wonder. You may not be aware, but the fall of His Majesty is an enormously popular subject these days. Even counting operas alone, there are over 100 depicting how the Kaiserinnen miraculously triumphed over the enemy.
How careless of me. So the actual protagonists of these stories are their majesties.
Ha! In Athenian, you're free to create anything, so this is probably the result of the people revealing their true feelings. Frau Seemann may have also wanted to take the celebration as a chance to add a bit of luster to this national holiday by working with such a classic theme.
But even so, you said her painting was an unexpected surprise?
It's up ahead, just around the corner. Once you've had a look, I think you'll share my hope that this was just an accident.
That doesn't sound good. An attack?
Please wait here while I check on the situation.
I could help you out.
It might turn out to be just a couple of drunkards on the streets breaking in their new wands. And I'd rather not bother you with something so trifling.
Or it could be something else.
Captain, we triangulated the source of the noise, and it's coming from the alley over there. Have you sent anyone over? The second squad went in, but no one's come out yet.
That doesn't sound good.
Are they still in there? It was the strangest fellow we've ever seen. He definitely heard us rushing over, but it seemed like he was trying to break into the gallery instead of fleeing. Could this be something big, or do you want to bring a few more men along, Captain? No need for that. Like I said, it's nothing major, just some crazy punks stirring up trouble for us to vent their frustrations. Right, the lady you fancy, the competition knight, what was her surname? Drost. A name I've never heard of. Tell the others to keep the chase, while we return to the gallery to make sure Frau Drost hasn't come to any harm. A noblewoman with the Kaiserin's trust is far more valuable than all the works and secrets in that gallery combined.
I want to see what's going on in the alley. Can we sneak out? Come on. Come on. Footsteps? Is there someone up ahead? Isn't the gallery closed off to the public? Oh, maybe the fun of the alley is coming to us. So this is the painting. And the subject is the death of the Witch King. No, this isn't Der Tod des Hexenkönigs at all. This is... ugh! Black and disorderly, the lines twist into infinity. Der Tod des Hexenkönigs, sitting at the center, isn't the only thing to have those twisted lines painted over it. Every other painting on the wall sports the same look. I wonder what Dusk would think of these paintings. The black spirals resemble vortices, breaking out of the frames one after another and filling the entire space. The lines seem to twist and burrow into her eyes, erupting into a series of mournful sobs in the depths of her mind. Her consciousness is pulled, deformed, fractured, and plunged into chaos. Shadows sway behind Viviana. She can hardly control her arts. She wants to preserve herself, to escape. This terrifying power needs no concrete descriptor, image, or sound to remind anyone of what it is. Much like its title, it forcefully crams itself directly into its audience's cognition, reflecting its very meaning into their minds. The Witch King. What a beautiful piece of art. It is she! A calm voice can suddenly be heard in the center of the exhibition hall. The noise comes to a halt, and the black spirals retreat into the paintings. This painting, there's no obvious traces of originium arts, so why? Arts aren't the only thing that can affect the mind. Something need only be true enough to tug at one's heartstrings, be it a picture or a melody. But please, don't fear it. Feel it. It's very intense. A rich and deep emotion flows in these seemingly messy brushstrokes. It's hard to keep looking. That's because you're looking at a person's soul. She put both the Witch King in her heart and her very life onto the canvas. Frau Seemann. What connection did she have with His Majesty? His death changed her entire life. As a young woman, she revered the man on the throne. She was in love with a symbol, a god. And then that god fell right before her eyes. She was confused, bewildered by his mortality. She lost her love, her purest emotions, and very nearly her ability to create as well. She was trapped. And only when her life was nearing its end did she realize this. You speak as if you were her. Her innermost emotions resonated with my melody. I went into the depths of her soul and heard her cry for help. Cry for help? It's the same everywhere you go. Many people are trapped in whatever fearful moment changed their course of their lives, walking along an endless spiral staircase. Just like your father and you as well. And now we fight. Now, what kind of enemy will I fight here? Oh, it's a dude, okay. An orchestra trumpeter. I mean, trumpeter. And this will be fine. I'll just do like a normal setup. I guess I'm destroying band members. I will fight the band members as one do. Oh, it's gonna be so nice to be able to farm these stages later. It'll be so satisfying. Slowly bringing people out. Please, okay, there. Actually, where do I want to put her? I feel like putting her here. Because why not? And let's just bide our time as one do. Might as well be there because again, why not? 3, 4, okay. And then right here. And now I just sit back and enjoy the chaos. Go get him. They don't know what hit him. Monsters, hurry up. Get out of here. Come out, my dudes. Don't be shy. Okay, there's a dude. And there he goes. Bye-bye, dude. Okay, just 4 more. Actually, let's do this. Okay, all done. Phew! The nights spent up in the spire were always quiet compared to the clamor of the city. The cheers grow increasingly loud as elegantly dressed musicians leave one by one with their instruments in tow. She remains the last one at in the vehicle. Don't be afraid, Viviana. Someone walks over and holds her hand. Kashimirish and Lithanian aren't the same, but you'll get used to it. She nods obediently and follows the crowd out of the car. Still, she subconsciously closes her eyes as the neon lights of the Grand Night territory pierce her vision. She's never told this to anyone, but back then, it wasn't the strange new country she was so afraid of. After all, her impression of Lithanian came solely from the window in her room, less than a square meter wide. It's hard to say that she knew the country all that well. What she found so frightening was that the seemingly noisy evening outside might not actually be so different from the small slice of the night in her memories. Viviana. Are you alright, Viviana? Frau Lowenstein. I'm reminded of when I first arrived in Kashimirish. Back then, you were holding my hand just like now. Your palms are all sweaty. What happened? It's nothing. I just chatted with a strange woman. I stopped by Graf Joseph's office earlier, but I only sensed your presence when I arrived here. She didn't do anything to me. She showed no hostility either. I think she simply came for the paintings too. Right. About the paintings. I'm sorry. Should I describe what they look like for you? No, please, avert your eyes from them. Is there something wrong with them? They're older. During the Witch King's reign, people were far more enthusiastic about Originium research than they are today. The casters, or should I say artists, on the side of the Witch King saw it as more than just an energy source or material for conducting arts. They believed that Originium was another form of flesh and blood and could serve as a medium for the soul. So you're saying the black substance on the paintings is refined Originium crystals mixed with the artist's blood. Well, that's an edgy way to paint. It sounds like this exhibit was rather well thought out.
Go, cover up the paintings. Use the heaviest fabric you can. And be sure not to touch the frames. Understood. I think the two of you should leave as soon as possible. The intruder is yet to be found, so the art gallery isn't safe.
It's not just us who are in danger. The people living in the city. Everyone needs to be alerted. The ones who caused Frau Simon's death and used her to paint these works are most likely.
Please, don't say the name. Frau Lobenstein. Das Kaiser in Innensfest is just around the corner, and you know better than anyone that their majesties won't want to see Schulingssturm fall into chaos.
Which is why we're here. Can you at least inform the people who came to the gallery earlier? I worry for their mental state after seeing such horrific paintings.
How kind of you. I've already dispatched people to check on the crowd who came by today, so don't worry. I also hope they didn't get too close a look.
Her Weissograph. I don't want Frau Simon to have died a dubious death. She was a guest at His Majesty's spire on that night 23 years ago, correct? No man, just based on what those paintings or that paint was made out of, I wonder how Dusk could feel again. She witnessed firsthand the fall of the Witch King and the birth of our national heroes.
I see. But what of it? Believe me, my dame, that night, the youths congregating before that pitch-black spire were the only ones thirsting for dawn to break. There are many, many more.
And ooh, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the raid. I hope your stream went by well. Thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the raid.
Moreover, most of them did not become the heroes they thought they would be. The brave souls delivering Lethinian's rebirth. Now, I've gotten an update on my intruder. So if you excuse me.
Hello, hello.
He's right.
The night changed many things, but change isn't necessarily good. The remnants may have planned Frida Simon's death as a punishment for betraying the Witch King. Or maybe it was meant to send a signal announcing a major move. Did they kill my father for the same reason? Dang, this murder mystery just keeps on getting more intense.
Mein Dame.
Shh. Let me finish listening to this piece.
It's just a performance of a vagrant.
He was playing the same melody this morning, but now with such a different mood. He expected the gallery to be full of visitors today, and was planning to have a sandwich for dinner, with an extra bratwurst to go. Oh, that sounds pretty good. Oh, I haven't had bratwurst in so long. But now he realizes that he might have to go to bed hungry yet again.
Did you probe into his mind with your arts?
No need for that. Haven't you noticed? The homeless gentleman is telling his story right now through his music, again and again. All I'm doing is paying attention.
His story has nothing to do with us, though. The next stage has already been set.
The stone sculpture by the flowerbed ceases to speak. Instead of words, it now hums a tune, smooth and deep, from the vibrating structure within. You Lethanians really do love your fancy sound-producing sculptures. They give a perfect performance every time, but it lacks soul, just like the people trapped in the spires. Arturia gently blows a pedal towards the mouthpiece of a large musical instrument carved into the sculpture. It rises and falls with the airflow, and the formerly uniform tune immediately changes ever so slightly. Much better. That poor musician, though. I wish I could give him a sandwich. Yummy, yummy.
Captain, we were so close to catching the intruder, but he suddenly disappeared on us. Are the roads outside still under lockdown?
Talking to Federico would be fun. I like how seriously he takes things.
Ja, he can't possibly have grown wings and flown over us, can he?
I also wonder if he was able to eat those 100 scoops.
Wings. Heh, hard to say. We've really let you down, Captain, encountering such a setback just when you're just about to... It's fine, Pime. Go find Graf Joseph and tell him what's going on with the art gallery. Incidentally, I haven't heard the sound of gunfire in a long, long time. I've never been qualified to wield one, even back in my Laterano days. But I can assure you that the ones we use in the Gendarmerie hit just as hard and true. So before my men return, you best put away your firearm and your other weapons, and then explain. What business brings a Sancta like you to Sturm? Loris Borden. Oh, you recognize me. Former Lateran citizen. 28 years ago, you came to Lithuanian from Laterano and joined the Gendarmerie. 23 years ago, the twin empresses conferred you the title of Vicegraf, and afterwards you became the commander of the Gendarmerie, a position you still occupy to this day. Ha, I was counting on you to introduce yourself first. I require assistance in bringing an important fugitive back to Laterano. Fugitive? Her name is Artoria. Now I remember, you're that executor from the Curia's 5th Tribunal, the Notario Hall's I'm sorry. The list of titles in your sign-offs is always so long, I can't recall your actual name. Federico Giallo. Our dealings are considered international affairs, so according to protocol, signatures are to be as meticulous as possible. Ha ha ha. The dozen or so letters you sent to me are still 27 letters. Did you read them properly? Did you even open them at all? Ahem, how could I? Anyway, you wrote all those letters over the past few years, and even personally came to Lithuanian just to hunt down this fugitive, yes? Sheesh, that's a lot of time. She's been active in Lithuanian for many years now, and I have reason to believe she is related to numerous unusual cases occurring here, including many of the cases you're currently working on. First, it was His Late Majesty, and now a fugitive from Laterano. When it rains, it pours, I suppose. Do you require a briefing on the suspect and her situation from the very beginning? Alternatively, you may read any of the letters I sent you. Ah. Reverend Executor, if I could just have a moment. Baron Lucas, please go ahead. Those violent thugs disturbing the peace in the streets are back. Alright, I got it. I'll send men over right away. Of course, absolutely. I'll be there in person. Please rest assured that the Gendarmerie will keep you safe and maintain Lithuanian's untarnished glory. As you can see, I'm a very busy man. I disagree. The social status of the informant should not be a criteria in determining the priority of your tasks. Look, we're not in Laterano. Speaking of which, we're not allowed to freely fire a gun. I mean, you're not allowed to freely fire a gun or any other weapons to intimidate the residents here. No, more than that. You best stay in my sight while you're operating in Sturm. I'm not aware of any such procedure. You mean the rules? Rules are set by people. I'd like to raise an objection. Then I'll have to arrest you at the first opportunity, Herr Federico. As someone who's fired multiple shots near a noble's private art gallery, many would see you as the biggest threat to Sturm's order.
Gotta follow their rules.
District of Bodenshof, Karl Schmidt Street. Frida Simon, the deceased of the exhibition, resided here for many years. Right, Marigold Alley, a place beloved by both painters and poets. Baron Lucas moved here 2 years ago. He claims he wanted to be closer to an increasingly rare artistic milieu. But of course, the real reason might be that the homes are here far cheaper than the ones in Innerstadt. I find it very likely that my target has been here before. Don't be rash. Remember our agreement. Arturo Giallo is a beloved and highly esteemed musician here in Lithuanian. You're currently assisting the Gendarmerie with an unrelated case under the premise that whatever you find has nothing to do with me or my men.
So basically, this guy is babysitting Federico right now.
I've discovered the alleged gang of violent thugs reported to be disturbing the peace. Immediately executing. Stay put!
Yep, babysitting.
I suggest we immediately initiate arrest procedures. It's just a bunch of kids who don't want to attend classes.
I mean, not me. Totally not me.
Get moving, all of you. No loitering.
Okay, fine.
So you were here too. The instrument sculptures were built under the Kaiser Innen's orders, and vandalism will not be tolerated. You're also bothering everyone in the neighborhood with the sound of chiseling. Still not stopping your arts. What the hell are you carving? Can't you see? I'm just transforming the street back into its proper form. Twisted horns like those aren't allowed in Jullingsturm. No, they're forbidden across all of Athenian. Step aside. We have to destroy them before the Empress's voices find out. Destroy? What makes you think you're brave enough to destroy a symbol of Herkunftstorn? Where did you learn that name? Plenty of people already know. He'll be back soon after all. He was a throne before you even learned to speak. You have no idea what those horns signify. Back then, he'd erect a sculpture like that on the streets whenever he killed a dissident. Someone's already dead, aren't they? The painter who lived down the street, she was the first. Run away with your tail between your legs, mind her. Whatever courage you once had is ancient history. The first soldier to set foot in the Witch King's spire. Do you really think you're still the same hero? Don't think I'll let you off just because you hit a nerve. Schillingel. He's gone. Humph, let him run. Why did you not arrest him immediately? Is there a point in rushing to fill up our prisons? May I assume that your reluctance to arrest the boy was due to your personal feelings? I'm almost regretting my decision to bring you along, Reverend Executor. Agreed. Freedom of movement would allow me to lock down the target as soon as possible. No, I meant I should have detained you in our office instead. Why is there another one still here? Hey, Junge, make any more noise, and I'll really bring you in.
The Twisted Horn sculptures. Are you not going to clean them up?
Right, I still have these troublesome things to deal with. I really don't get what youngsters have in their heads these days.
They're nostalgic for an era they never got to experience in person. But there's nothing wrong with that. All Athenians are entitled to feel disappointed with how things are today. For example, the coachman casters who lost their jobs to the Victorian automobiles, or the owners of the community theaters that closed down thanks to Rankwood's film industry, or their children, of course. When people see no way out, the only thing they can imagine a future is by looking back in the past.
Ha! Did you hear all that from some adult at home?
As if. I guarantee you she'd never say anything like that. All she knows is how to eliminate any threat to the Athenian at its source.
The sculpture shattered? And so easily? He is clearly no ordinary student. I would recommend stopping him for questioning. Humph, nothing ordinary about him, that's for sure. But all the more reason to keep our mouths shut.
Boris doesn't want to get involved. He's like, yeah, no.
And now it's actually raining, ha. Want a drink, coffee, or maybe beer? If we're drinking at this place, I recommend the former.
I want coffee.
I do not make a habit of consuming fluids that will affect my central nervous system while I'm on a mission. Alright, beer for me then. You are also on a mission, Ja. Why else would I be drinking at this hour? The child from earlier said that you were the first soldier to set foot in the Witch King's spire. He's not wrong. What? Want me to sign a napkin for you? I would rather you sign the cooperation agreement I sent you. Reverend Executor, how old were you 23 years ago? The news coverage on the coup can't have been bigger than the ads for some new dessert shop, can they? The latter and who became the captain of Schulingstürm's Gendarmerie. That's how the headline went. You sure did your homework. I paid no attention to your ties to the Witch King. The Loris Borden I read about was a law enforcement officer worth working with, having solved one strange case after another. Is that why you wrote me so many letters? Artoria's arts are unusual, and you are well versed in handling similarly strange cases. In the year 1079, you arrested a gang of thieves proficient in casting illusions for romance scams.
I want to know about that case. That sounds interesting.
In 1085, you shot dead a dangerous hypnotist in...
What are these cases? They should make a series based on Loris's life, or at least his job, because that sounds interesting as heck. He met so many weirdos. I love it.
Wait, stop right there. Please, don't take me for a protagonist of some detective drama.
Too late, Loris. Too late.
You appear to be avoiding the subject, Loris Borden. And why would I do that? It's just that I accepted early that I am a loser. Did you know, John, that uncooperative kid we ran into in the Marigold Alley earlier, he had a sister who used to work here. She went missing 15 years ago. Judging by your special treatment of the young man, I assume the case remains unsolved. And that's not the only case I haven't been able to crack. Not the first, and definitely not the last. There's nothing special about it at all. It just... is. Heh. A notorious hall executor like you probably hasn't experienced failure like that. Herr Borden, you're here again. How are things lately? The doctor told me to give up drinking. That's a shame. To make a Lithuanian man in his prime cut off his alcohol intake. It's just as bad as making him go deaf. I even thought I'd give you a 15% discount if you brought the Diamond and Heron from the Gendarmerie here for your retirement party.
50% discount? Amazing!
You're retiring? I'm leaving Lithuania once Das Kaiser Innisfest is over. Thyme, what's that kid been up to lately? John, the Universitat he applied to rejected him, so he probably went off to learn a proper trade. He's pretty talented with arts, and his grades in secondary school weren't bad either, so why wasn't he scouted by any of the universities? Because he threw away your recommendation letter. That's Bengal. He said that you should be trying hard to find Yulia, rather than worrying about which school he's going to. And also... Actually, now that I've gone and said it, I think something's not quite right with the boy lately. One day, he got your recommendation letter. On the day that he got your recommendation letter, he asked me why his father didn't need one back in the day. Said he'd entered a certain Graf Spire solely by his own abilities. Talent was more important than lineage back when His Majesty was still around. His words. Where exactly has been hanging out these days? Not sure. The Twisted Horn sculptures. As you implied, John shouldn't have even known what they looked like, which means someone else showed him first. Oh right, which area used to have the highest concentration of those Twisted Horn sculptures? Gustav Park, not far from here. They call it Forest Park these days. You should head home early today, Thyme. Huh? Sure. Wait, Herr Borden? Why did you give me your wallet? You could buy a whole year's worth of beer with this much. Keep it. It's for John. He's a clever kid, and should go to a good university. That should be enough for him to leave Lithuania and go polish himself in Victoria or Columbia.
Wow, that's so nice of him. The rain stops. The park fountains do not even when the rain was still falling earlier. There are people sitting or standing under the trees in groups of two of three, most holding an instrument, violins, flutes, cellos. They seem to be playing independently, but the resulting performance is a harmonious ensemble. Melodies both soothing and mournful dance in the water and float through the trees. When I was a child, I heard that the Einwald
was a vast stretch of black forest before nomadic cities were built. And whenever someone important passed away, people would go deep into the woods to remember the departed while playing their favorite music. I don't see you holding an instrument. When I returned to Lithuanian, I brought nothing with me. I used to believe I could play all manner of instruments, but later I met a teacher I respect, who was keen to tell me that I didn't understand the first thing about music. But what he meant was, I didn't understand emotions. Back then, I couldn't comprehend how that was possible. My short life had clearly been brimming with more than enough loss and suffering. And then, my friend died. Then you must have felt true pain. To be honest, I'm still not sure if I truly understood. Then I left Lithuania and traveled the lands. I would play for the people I met, and their praise grew only more enthusiastic with every place I visited. But I haven't played anything specifically for my dear friend in a long, long time. I'm sure they love to hear your performance, no matter what level you're at. I know, and that's precisely because I hope I can improve. Have I actually ever tried to stand up to anything in my life? Can I honestly tell him, with my back straight and my head held high, that I led a life full enough, rich enough, that it was worthy of his sacrifice? I can't imagine how he would reply, because I'm not even sure what to say to him in the first place. And you, sir? Who do you hold in your heart when you come here? A mentor. He left us 23 years ago, but I never forgot him. He must have been a great man. I heard that this park was established to commemorate the victims from 23 years ago. Every tree standing here replaced a twisted horn sculpture made of flesh and blood. I have to admire them. During those dark times, they had the courage to stand up and resist fate. Perhaps you're the same. A lot of the music we listen to is much older than even the entire history of Lithuanian. The wills of the departed continue to live on in us through their music. Live on in us. Right, I want to believe that. Do you see that man standing over there? You mean the one carrying a sword who's been following you? Oh. That's the one. Do you know him? Serious, calm, lacking emotion. Their faces always look so alike that I don't even bother distinguishing them anymore. My time's up, isn't it? You certainly enjoy wasting time, gruff Erdica. Wunderbar. So I didn't mistake you for someone else. Truth be told, her overseer, I did think I was ready for you when I first walked into the park. If their majesties want my life, then they can have it. After all, from then till now, and even for the foreseeable future, my life has never truly been a boon to anyone. Did you come here to plan your suicide? I only considered it for a moment. Besides, if I'd pointed my wand at my throat, you'd rush in to stop me, no? The voice of mundane is yet to play, so you cannot die. What a shame. No matter who I hear that from, it never makes me the slightest bit happy. Can you hear that cello? I spent the afternoon reviewing my past through the sound of music, and myself on the water surface. And my conclusion, my life isn't worth any more than it was a few years ago. However, just like back then, no one can use it or manipulate it, especially not you people. What are you saying? An ambush?
Even more drama. Several black spheres conjured with arts leap from the puddles in the area. They have been camouflaged within the reflections of the trees and the water, and accompanied the melody is drifting through the air as they accumulated energy from the wobbly ripples.
Ugh! So they sent a whole party just to execute me. Would you like me to perform a deep bow in appreciation of their majesties? Sadly, I'm doomed to disappoint them. I still haven't figured out what I'll play for him. But there is one thing I will absolutely tell him myself. I tried. I was always trying. I never stopped resisting.
It's cute how he's always thinking of Creed, but oh gosh, I wish that event was happy for him. Like, that was sad. Uh-oh, what am I doing? What am I learning? When am I forced to learn?
了解
Okay, they're just walking around in a circle as one do, intimidating.
There is always music playing in Dueling Sturm, and the mediocre are bound to be swayed by its tune. If it changes, so too will their attacks.
Oh. Oh no.
However, it will always follow a specific progression, and we've already interpreted the music in this area. There will be 3 variations in battle. The piece will at times be passionate, and at times melancholic.
Oh no.
引き裂け
Well, this should be fine. Oh, when it's passionate, they are passionately running around. Oh no, the enemy's ASPD and movement speed have suddenly increased after listening to the passionate melody.
A passionate piece will rouse their spirits, greatly increasing their ASPD and movement speed, while reducing their defense.
Okay, you know, I don't mind that actually.
引き裂け
Some will even resonate with the music and gain special abilities, so be sure to act accordingly.
Aw man, he's really feeling the beat. I'm glad those guys are just circling still. Whoops, I think I hit something by mistake. It lit up.
That is a tuning node, keeping the music in harmony, and it will come under our control after taking a number of attacks.
Oh, I can take it. I like it.
If we can manage to control all the nodes in the area, we'll be able to change the music playing here and hinder the enemy's advance.
Oh, I'm cool with that. But this other node's got some kind of arts blocking any hits on it. And nothing's making a dent.
That would be a one-way art screen. Try a different angle.
I'll take care of it.
I see all the nodes are under control. Activate them with the proper timing to change the music and disrupt their advance.
On the bright side, that just means that... Yes, that just means that Susie's gonna be extra good here because she can do a thing, and a thing that I appreciate. She can hit them all. The music turned passionate again, and there's a bunch of enemies headed our way.
Now, adjust it with the node.
Okay.
Enemies swayed by a melancholic piece will have slightly reduced ASPD and movement speed, but their attack will be greatly increased. After using the node to adjust the music to a melancholic variant, our unit's ASPD will be slightly reduced, but their attacks will be greatly increased as well. However, this effect is only momentary, so be sure to make use of it. Furthermore, melancholic music may also benefit certain enemies, so feel free to improvise as necessary based on the situation.
Okay. Sounds good. And even if he's increased, look at him. He's not doing anything. It's all good. We can play more of our sad boy tune. Oh, sadness. So much sadness. JK, we're happy. Go get him. Yay. I think I'm gonna prefer keeping him passionate just because I like the speed. I'm into that speed. Wait. I should stare at the map. Okay, I've stared enough. And now we continue our fight here. Once upon a time, There was a child who was imprisoned in an old, old tower. The script of his life had been written from the moment of his birth. Like an opera, every aria, every scene was meticulously planned, and all he could do was follow it. One day, the child realized that he was part of the show. It was all a masquerade. Love, hate, resentment, everything around him was fake. Confused, frightened, and angry, he called the score fate and tried to resist it. At one point, he even thought he had succeeded in escaping from the stage. But he forgot that freedom granted by another can never be true freedom. When the threads of fate tightened again, there was nowhere for him to go except back on stage. But this time, he chose to fight. The show would go on. He would struggle for the benefit of the audience in the seats. Still, he thought he could at least glare back at them and scorn the fate that they had imposed upon him. But he often wonders, if he was still in that play, how can he tell where the stage ends and the audience begins? And if all of us are part of the play like he is, how would we know when it truly ends? Poor kid. Will you get out? Will you become a hero and defeat the bad guy? A hero, sadly. Not everyone can be a hero. Given enough time, some heroes stop being heroes, or even become villains.
Ah yes, you either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain.
That's not the kind of story I want to hear. Alright. Let's start from even earlier in the story then. That way, we won't get to the ending you don't want to hear today. 9. Hurry it up already. You guys like playing at Forest Park, don't you? Did you know that it wasn't actually built to commemorate the heroes who died resisting the Witch King? Gustav Park was built to commemorate the deeds of a great ruler. And in his story, he was a hero too. Oh, and now we're underground.
Oh, so that's how it is. If it isn't my old friends. I knew it didn't make any sense for their majesties to go through the trouble of bringing me back and sparing my life for a few days, only to send assassins. You're the key to this plan, Graf Erdica. Yes, we've all heard this before. Have you learned nothing from what happened with Gertrude? All that effort, and not even the ruins of a concert hall to show for it. What do you want from me this time? To blow up the park above me? Grafenstroller's failure was born of ignorance. She and the original experimenters were nothing but useless rabble. They knew His Majesty's melody, but not how to play it properly, and foolishly sought to use it as a weapon to spread the calamity of Originium. Such uncouth violence is an affront to art. Even if he had awakened from it, he would have sentenced them to death for their blasphemy. Ha, of course. So you're saying that Gertrude was a fraud, but you're the real deal? Then what? You need me to appeal to their majesties to bestow you a medal proving your commitment to the arts. We seek only understanding. You are His Majesty's heir, the symbol of his glory, the manifestation of his flesh and blood, and the continuation of his melody. We believe that you will bring glory back to Erdica and to Lethanian. Then do it. Take back his glory, his flesh and blood, his melody. I wonder though, without those, what would be left of the individual known as Ebenholz? Perhaps it is your infection, or perhaps the result of Rhodes Island's training. You certainly become stronger, and yet you show not even a sliver of His Majesty's strength.
Sorry, Ebenholz.
I must go. Freeze! What are you doing here? Take another step and I'll have you arrested. But I haven't. You haven't formally joined those lunatics yet? Good for you. They're no lunatics. Maybe you see His Majesty's reign as one of terror, but all he did was punish the nobles who stood in the way of progress. Why am I not allowed to miss him? Why can't I long for Lathanian, where someone like me could become somebody? Because I know that era better than you do. Listen, Jungye. When I first came to Lathanian, I accidentally sat on a poster on the ground. Every other person on the street was probably a spy. I was a traitor from Laterano at the time, and they planned to execute me as a subversive foreign element. You could have contacted the Notarial Hall, or the 7th Tribunal. Certainly, Reverend Executor, just like you could have broken into the most heavily guarded arch jail on your own and rescued me. But like most Sancta, your wings are ornamental, not functional. Lathanian is more than a stone's throw from Laterano. Not even you could have helped a library who was scheduled to be executed the very next day. But you survived and became Lathanian. Because someone saved my life, a limping on library. A soldier who had killed a few Gauls in his time. He later joined the Gendarmerie, essentially the Witch King's secret police at the time. He took pity on me and got me out. I'm told the executioner got a fancy new cigarette case for his trouble. Only a few days later, the Witch Kings executed another batch of dissidents, right here in this park. And when I looked up from the crowd, can you guess whose face I saw among the twisted statues? Are you scared? You should be. Go home, Jungye. And don't ever get involved with these things again. We should go to Reverend Executor. You've also detected the use of arts. Someone is fighting. I'll let the Empress's voice know. Let them worry about it. We will miss our chance to apprehend the criminal. When we understand, I don't want that chance. If I strode into that park, I'd find a group of masked people calling themselves the Echoes of Herkonshorn. And their majesties would certainly expect me to draw my weapon and arrest and kill them. But do you know whose faces I'd see when I remove their masks? Perhaps the heir of Groff, or a scion of Kurfürst. And as for me, if I'm lucky enough to survive, I'd be sent straight back to jail. This battle in the park, ha! Had go down as nothing more than a little brawl over some private grudge. Just like John's sister, Yulia, I tried to catch the last bastard seer, but couldn't touch a hair on his head because of his father's title, his family, and the Kaiser Innen's intervention. An enforcer of the law should act only in accordance with the law, not his own interests. Since when has the law cared about a man's life or death? The law allows you to leave last will and testament. If you're killed in battle, I will see it executed to the letter. You have one twisted sense of humor.
He's not joking, Loris.
But that reminds me, when I joined the uprising against the Witch King and attacked the Spire, I truly believed I'd leave something behind, even in death. But look at me now, an alcoholic who spends his days taking bribes and bowing to high nobles. You're absolutely right, I'm not fit to enforce the law. I bet the old man who saved me is rolling in his grave. The events of the past should not cloud your judgment of the present. You cannot save the girl named Yulia, but you saved your brother, and you have the chance to save someone else. I envy you, Reverend Executor. Back when I left Laterano, I thought the Sancta were hard to understand, but now I realize that there's no one simpler. But are the laws of Laterano always correct? I have in fact encountered a case like the one you mentioned. What? The case I'm pursuing right now. It is very special to me. Her actions have seriously threatened the order of Laterano. The outcome is clearly wrong, yet she has continued to escape the law's judgment. Do you ever feel doubt then? Disappointment? In my experience, disappointment is born from having previously held strong positive feelings towards something. Which you never had? You're different from the other Sancta I know. You've never loved Laterano, have you? I do not believe such sentiments to be necessary to perform my duties. Maybe you're right. Or maybe, when you're finally forced to doubt yourself and find yourself wavering, lost like me, you realize that you need a strength, a reason. And that's when you'll discover that the law offers no guidance.
Loris is just deflated. He's just like, yeah, no, I'm not motivated anymore. Yeah, nah. I'm just gonna retire now. Which is understandable.
I hear a cello. The target is just up ahead. If you refuse to follow, I will proceed to the suspect's location and complete the mission myself. Go. I would prefer to have the cooperation of the Gendarmerie. Not my problem. I need to head back and hand over my resignation to the city council. Don't worry. I'll pass the documents you gave me along to my successor before I leave Sturm. I do not believe that the former hero is dead, Loris Borden. Oh? After all, you're standing right in front of me. Accurately determining a person's life or death is part of my job. Seriously? Ha!
Well, at least he's happy now.
The target isn't here. This cello tune. You see the sculpture's spring water? Their arts have been modified to reproduce her performance. Why are you pointing at me, Sancta? Have you lost your mind? Marigold Alley, Forest Park. You've been at the scene of every incident. Your behavior is abnormal for a Lathanian of your age. The evidence provides plenty of reason to suspect you. And that's why you're pointing a gun at me? Did it ever occur to you that I could be on your side? When dealing with someone attempting to hide their identity, detention followed by interrogation is the most efficient option. You're even less flexible than a statue tuned by the worst caster. I was wondering who this trap was for. Any Lathanian child off the street could have told you this wasn't a live performance. Whoever said it must know you well. She knew that you come after the sound of a cello like a hungry tusk beast, pouncing on a piece of meat, ignoring everything else, giving her an opening to approach her real target. Loris Borden. The spineless Gendarmerie commander? Why bring him up? Your assessment is correct. Artoria lured me away. It is Loris Borden she wants.
Loris, you are the chosen one.
Thyme, it's me. Is John back yet? Okay, good. Tell him I'm very sorry about his sister, about Julia. I'm leaving Lithuania soon. The leads I've collected over the years are in my house in Bodenshof. The keys in the wallet I gave you. Give it to John.
Wow, he's so nice. Ooh, hello, hello. Am I winning? Kind of, sort of.
Hopefully, someone will take over the case after I'm gone. I've been pursuing it for so long now, I couldn't get a result, but maybe someone else can. This is a bigger commotion than the previous ones. Pime, I'm near Forest Park. There's a situation here. Get a team over. No, one team might not be enough. Get everyone you can. Yeah, it's probably those masked shuriken. Maybe they set up fire under the asses of a pack of gloom pincers in order to blow up the sewers. Let's just hope no unlucky bastard gets caught up in the mess. Music? Who's there? A Sancta? Reverend Executor, is that you? The events of the past should not cloud your judgment of the present. You could not save the girl named Julia, but you saved her brother. And you have the chance to save someone else. An illusion? No, just a memory. Oh, Pime, it's nothing. There's only me here. It's just that I was reminded of something. Ja, the bastards are right below me. I'll leave a beacon here. Ja, I know, it's dangerous. I'll keep my distance. Run away with your tails between your legs, mind her. Whatever courage you once had is ancient history. The first soldier to set foot in the Witch King's spire. Do you really think you're still that same hero? Get out of my head, you asshole. No, I wasn't talking to you, Pime.
Poor Pime, he's like, what the heck? Rude.
Time to move. I'm gonna hang up. I know better than anyone that I'm a coward. I couldn't find out how Julia died. Couldn't even take revenge for her. Julia. What would you say if you saw me now? You were always so warm and gentle. Maybe you wouldn't let your disappointment show. Don't hang your head, Junge. Hey there, old man. Now it's your turn to pop out of my memories, huh? You're not too quick on the uptake, but you've got guts. Not many could take a picture of the Witch King in the eye, yet alone step on it.
Ooh, hello, hello.
I was just an unlucky bastard who happened to walk by. Was it really worth losing your life over someone like me? Don't feel like you owe me anything. Did you really think I was going to die in bed after working for the Witch King for so many years? Letting you go just by helping me sleep at night for once, for the last few days of my life. Same goes for you, Jungge. If you feel guilty, then try saving a few more lives before you go.
The event is even longer than Lone Trial? Oh no. I mean, oh yes, but at the same time, oh no. I hope I have enough time, because next week is gonna be busy. I gotta think. Think.
The library
Limps away and disappears into the shadow beneath the sun. It's a long one, like the one the spire cast all those years ago. Many lives fade into those shadows, with not a soul to gaze upon them. It was how things were and how things still are. The cello music fades away. Only the tremors beneath his feet remain. He knows like the sounds of innocent souls struggling for life. He could stay put. He could leave Lithanian like he left Laterano. All he needs to do is turn around and leave, like he's done for decades now. So much easier than leading the charge, no?
I'm tired, old man. I want to live, not just that, but to drink freshly brewed beer every day, to listen to jazz with Pime and the boys after work, and to take a trip to Sami next summer. I couldn't die a hero like you did. But why? Why? Why am I disappointed?
It's okay, Loris.
You're tired, young Groff. Ha. Or apathy eats away at you. If you continue to use your arts, only death awaits. And are you afraid of that? I fear only what we must do to stop you. Arg! My head hurts. We do not wish to harm you. But the concert master says that the melody within you is more valuable than your mind. We will put you to sleep for a while, if need be. You want to wake my mind. I won't let... Arg! Who's there? A librarian. In a gendarmerie uniform? Just one? Just trying to be a hero, are you?
I'd rather Loris show away those feelings right now, just because he's just by himself. He hears a bunch of like craziness going on. He's not particularly powerful.
Go. My men are on their way.
Here's a stranger say to him.
Don't let him get away.
I hope the others get here in time. Ebenholz knows he will not get another chance. Blood drips down from the corner of his mouth. His head is splitting. The battle behind him continues. He wants to see the face of his hero. But the tiny silhouette is quickly engulfed in light from arts and explosions. Goodbye, Loris. All he can do is run. He keeps running. He knows not where this path leads, nor the effort it will take to escape its predestined end. Man, Loris was so close to his retirement. Well, at least he already left his other stuff behind. For the boy. But still, oof. Just big oof. Okay, right over here seems decent. Let's just start going for that thingy. Okay, that's ours now.
There's no fear.
19, and then let's see. I think right over here is fine. Oop. And then right over here, because why not? Oops, wrong person to click on. Right over here. Yeah, it's good. Use that. Put her here. Yeah, here seems decent. Get ready to put down more people. Another performer person. Let me put you here. I should probably put a healer down soon.
敵を死に
But no, I don't feel like it. I feel like choosing violence because I have problems. But it's okay. They're almost down anyways. It's all good. Why Loris? Why not Loris? It's like, Loris was planning on giving up on stuff. You know what? Let's inspire him. He seems like the type of guy that needs to be inspired. Yeah, totally. What? And he's even hanging out with Federico? Of course I gotta inspire him. As one do. Don't your eyes get tired staring at a book for so long? I'm used to it. In my tournament days, my schedule was always packed. Time to myself was precious, so I often spent entire nights reading. Don't feel pressured. You've only just returned to Lithanian. Even in Kashimirish, I never forgot where my home was. Over there, they called me the Knight from Lithanian. My Lithanian guests often discuss poetry and music from home with me, and praise me for being a paragon of the light of Lithanian elegance. They're not wrong, yet I spent most of my life away from this country. Lithanian, other than the language and the books I've read, how much do I truly know about this land? Is there a pointy dome up ahead? What's the color of the tip? White, adorned with orange. It's my favorite flower shop. I can smell the flowers, but I wouldn't know if they're painted in a different color. I envy you. You have a brand new chance to appreciate the city, this country. Unlike me, who's never had the opportunity to see Schillingstern with my own eyes. Your eyes. My sight died with the Witch King, 23 years ago. That's the last time I saw the city. Unlike me, you have a chance to see the beauty of the present and a future that should be better. Hello, this is Drost. What did you say? Sorry, I heard you. I just couldn't believe what I heard. Who is it? The Genda Marie who was a Canaanite fan. I asked him to follow up on the art gallery incident. Neither of us thought it would be a simple case. But what I didn't expect was...
Loris Borden, confirmed dead.
Aww. Aww, that did happen. Loris, you were so close. I wonder how John's gonna hear when he finds out the news. He'll be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have been so mean to Loris, especially since Loris gave him left him an apartment and even college funds.
Cause of death is originium arch trauma from at least 5 different sources. The direct cause of death is believed to be suffocation caused by the rib cage penetrating the lungs.
Oh, that sounds so painful.
The next step is to destroy the statue and retrieve the body. Statue is believed to have been created by an extremely rare form of matter reconstruction arts, and appears to be highly resistant to damage.
Wait up, you're too fast.
What the hell are you doing? Loris Borden was a citizen of Laterano. Notarial Hall regulations dictate that I examine his body to ascertain whether he left behind an executable will.
So you shoot the whole crime scene to pieces?
I'm quite accurate. My calculations indicate that only a 27% chance of destroying the statue without damaging the body will cause a collapse.
You can't.
Explain. First of all, the Genda Marie has the area surrounded. They heard the gunshots and will be here in 3 minutes. When they do, they'll see you as Sancta pointing a gun at the mutilated body of the commander. I'll be quick. I said first of all. More importantly, there's no way you can retrieve Borden's body intact. His flesh is a part of the statue now. They're completely inseparable. Not even with your arts. You didn't seriously think a kid like me couldn't do the Witch King's arts, did you?
Maybe.
Over here! It took them less than 2 minutes. You should have mentioned your second point first. If there is excessive difficulty in completing the objective, I will delay the retrieval of Lord Borden's body. My bad. I didn't think there could possibly be anyone harder to communicate with than her. Put down your weapon. Turn around. We're surrounded. I'll count to 10, then we make a run for it. Your name. Name? Micah. Micah Wolf. Wait, now's not the time for introductions, is it? You're attempting to persuade me to violate the laws of Athenian. I must reassess the logic of continuing to work with you. We share a common goal. I want to find Artoria too, is that enough? Very well. But this is an international matter. His Holiness would want me to. The culprit won't wait for the diplomatic process to finish. What is the count at now? 10. Let's just say it's 10. Go!
Well, it's a good thing a boy got a friend here. He made a new ally, more like.
Frau Drost!
What's the situation, Pim?
The suspects fled the scene. A small lupo with unusual arts, and a gun-wielding Sancta. Must be the same one who broke into the art gallery.
A Sancta and a Lupo? Is that the crime scene?
I wouldn't advise heading into the sewers, mind dame. It's not a sight for the faint of heart.
Her Borden's footprints stretch from the entrance into this area. The scent of Originium arts. There was a big fight here. A statue in the shape of the Witch King's twisted horns. Not at all how the books describe them. Wait, is that her Borden's face? In the middle of the statue? How could they be so cruel? Oh, he's there. Who's there? How do you feel now, John? I know you're there. Show yourself. Don't worry. I'm neither Gendarmerie nor secret police. I'm just mourning for her Borden, like you. Did you know him? Only in passing. When we first met, he reminded me of many people I've worked with in Kashimirish. People who once dreamt big dreams with a burning passion. But it's a rare soul that never wavers, always shining bright like a lighthouse. Most are like her Borden, or myself. Oof. Which makes me all the more curious. What made him decide to face such a dangerous foe by himself? And why him? Why kill such an ordinary man? One already resigned to his own mediocrity. But he wasn't an ordinary man. He was a hero. He came here to save lives. Do you need a handkerchief? I'm sorry, I was so stupid. I'm the one who got him killed. He told me to run, so I ran, but I should have known that they wouldn't let him live. Who exactly are they? I'm not so sure myself. All I know is that they all wear masks and call themselves the echoes of Herkon Shorn. 3 stages per stream? Well, depends, honestly. Next week is finals weekend. Graduation week. So it depends, honestly. Because I know for work I gotta help with some graduation stuff too. And then during the weekend my bro's graduating, so I cannot stream at all during the weekend. The name of the Witch King. I read that his followers believe that using his name grants them his wisdom and insight even after his death. That's not just a legend. Didn't you see the statue they made from Loris's flesh? They're punishing traitors in his name. They said that the soul of the traitor will lead them to the lost Genesis horn. The statue in the park comes alive. It stands up, swinging its stone instrument like an executioner's axe, bringing it down on the people below. Look out! That was close. Did something crush a statue? It's so dark. It's nothing. Just never speak that name to anyone ever again. Could the legends really be true? Is it true that His Majesty isn't really dead, and that we still live under his gaze? Try to forget everything you saw and heard these past few days, other than her abhorrent sacrifice. As an Empress's voice, I promise you that his death will not fade into silence. Follow the light. My candle will protect you. Yeah, go home, John. Just go home now. The lost Genesis horn? I've heard rumors. Before he jumped from the spire following his liege's death, the Witch King's concert master claimed that Shorn, that the Genesis horn will still stand somewhere in this land. At first, their majesties believed this to refer to the spire of the Witch King. But that spire has long since been toppled. Indeed, their majesties destroyed every brick and tile that could have contained the Witch King's arts, and recombined them to form the bones and blood of the twin empresses' spires. Their remnants believe that the spire still exists then? Or maybe it's not a spire at all. In Lithuanian, a spire is simply a symbol of one's prowess in arts. If your theory is correct and there's some kind of ritual behind these deaths, then they must be looking for the final secret the Witch King left in this realm. Death of the Witch King, the theme of Frau Siemann's final painting. The Witch King's remnants do not pick their victims at random. Perhaps the secret they're looking for has something to do with her painting. Their Majesty's casters have examined all the artwork in the museum and found nothing of note. Perhaps she left other clues in the creation process. Frau Lowenstein, please proceed to Frau Siemann's residence. I'll meet you there. Hopefully they can crack the code so they know who's next. You're gonna go walk the streets just like that? Don't you know that the Gendarmerie are looking for you? It is more efficient to find Artoria before they catch up. You don't even care how big of a mess you make, do you? Just don't leave the cleanup to me. You said we shared a common goal. I suppose. And you said that Artoria lured you away to target that officer. But why? Why give him a chance to fight back if she just wanted him dead? Is murder not enough for her? Does she enjoy watching people die in pain? No, she takes no joy in hurting others. Are you sure about that? She's hanging out with the Witch King's remnants. Why would you expect her to have basic morals? Define morals. Huh? If morals are a set of behavioral rules that ensure social order, then yes, Artoria is certainly a dangerous criminal, with no regard for morality. However, if they represent the impetus and capacity to understand and respect the emotions and experiences of another, then I have never met an individual with more morals than her. Get to the point. Artoria did not intend to kill Loris Borden. That statue was an affront to life. She would have deemed it unbearably ugly. I wonder what she's doing now. What's the commotion this time? Have those ignorant peasants come to cause trouble again? Why do we give the Gendarmerie so many favors they can't even do their jobs? Get me on the line with Borden. What did you say? Borden's dead? I knew the Gendarmerie were trash. This cello, not too bad. It sounds like the one from a few days ago. No doubt this culturally rich alley has drawn the attention of a famous musician. Wings and Halo? My goodness, it's a song from Laterano. I dread for the future of our dear Lithuanian. This piece is dedicated to the return of the hero, Loris Borden. Ah, yes, the return of the hero. Totally. Yeah, Nah, she'd be more neutral chaotic. But most of the stuff she does ends up being kind of bad, so I can see why they'd be like, if evil, why hot? The tune of the cello echoes through the alley. The moment the hero of days past rediscovered his courage, his suppressed love and hatred, regret and determination, hope and despair are all revealed by its melody. It is a sound of mourning, of remembrance, of praise. The light that should have faded is brought back more brilliant than ever, brighter than the morning sun, brighter than the blooming flowers. Frau Siemens' belongings have been sorted and laid out upstairs. Frau Lowenstein, are you crying? I think I'm seeing memories. Are the marigolds in this alley blooming? Yes, that was her favorite season. She used to lean by the window, painting the passerby. Yes, I remember. I loved her paintings. My memories of them have never faded in color. Those golden days, when we all lived with hope for the future. But before you know it, it's all in the past. Take me to Frida's room, Anna. Hello.
You're back, Frau Drost. Of all the nobles I've met, I've never known a more avid reader.
I would like to assess the library at the top floor.
The top floor, the forbidden section?
Ooh, that sounds fun. I need to review the records of the forbidden research conducted by the Witch King's remnants in recent years.
That might be an issue.
I can get Her Majesty's permission immediately, if necessary.
There's no need for that. Naturally, the forbidden section is open to an Empress's voice. However, I'm afraid that all the documents were removed this morning.
May I ask who did it?
A spire caster on Her Majesty's orders, as far as I know.
But it was Her Majesty who gave me her blessing to come here.
As you well know, there is more than one woman who bears a title.
Sorry, Candle Knight, but there's one person ahead of you.
I hope you're ready. I won't tolerate any more interruptions to the plan.
Who the heck are you, fancy gloves?
Almost there. I just need those experiment notes. These experiment notes. You Lithanians have such awful hobbies. It's such a bother trying to sift something useful from all the chaff. Gertrude Strollo was simply a convenient woman who set up to take the fall. Her talents were mediocre. Did you involve every noble in this? Even the ones who had secret dealings with the Victorian dukes last time? Everyone I could find. A familiar tone. No wonder they fear you so much, Your Majesty. Do you know what they call you behind closed doors? The next Witch King. I have to say, your similar taste in wardrobe does you no favors either. I've never denied what Hercon Shorn's intelligence, skill, and strength meant to Lithanian. In fact, that's exactly what we need right now. The Kurfürsten wouldn't like the sound of that at all. It's not the title of Witch King that they fear. What they fear is the Lysis lot, and I walking Hercon Shorn's old path and encroaching on their power and interests. You remind me of old Leopold. When the two of you were born, he asked me what the life expectancy of children born of the Eldritch Arts was. And your answer? I said, I can't give you a precise answer, Your Excellency. The Grosherog, but I'm sure they'll outlive you. I doubt he was happy to hear that. Was I wrong? He wanted to see the fall of Hercon Shorn, but forgot to take his own age into account. Leopold participated in the Battle of the Four Emperors, and led the revolution that overthrew the Witch King. He was undoubtedly a hero of Lithanian. Heroes can be greedy too. Greed can be forgiven, as long as they stand for a unified Lithanian. Otherwise, the greedy must be parted from their positions, or their heads from their necks. Ruling with an iron fist, I see. But what does Evigenade think about that? Lysolot does not approve of my methods. She whispers in my ear that such radical measures only create more opposition. Humph, she thinks herself the gentle mother. Your words would sing her. Vermacht. My harsh Kaiserin, it is so unsettling to see such sentimentality on your face. Lysolot truly loves Athenia and its people. As such, she is destined to stand in my way. Good. Now there's a dark, brooding look I know and love. Do you want to convince me that you'll be able to see it through when the time comes?
It'd be tempting to go extra long tonight, but at the same time, I do have work in the morning. I need my gotcha funds after all. So I need to be alive and well. And tomorrow's gonna be a busy day.
Many scholars believe that those born from the arts, like us, are born without a soul. Tisk. They say that they say the same of you. They believe that we are of the same kind. Oh, for a lack of souls, or for a cruelty. Help me one more time, Fremont. We must find the Witch King's legacy.
Fremont? Okay, so this is the Forbidden Room. Or maybe not. Never mind. It's Ebenholz's place. In distinct voice.
Someone calling to me? Was it you? Where's the one who saved my life? Dead. I'm sorry. Once again, I've let the courage of another go to waste. Water? You poured water in my face? Drink. You're mistaken if you think I'll simply cooperate. Ugh. If you won't drink, I'll have to take other measures. Is this medicine? Or some novel form of torture, or executioner? Dying is easy, especially for a frail, infected noble. But you have only one chance to do it. Before you die, think carefully about how you really want to make your curtain call.
Drink the water, my boy. Drink. Etude. Encounter. Since these are long stages, this will probably be the last one for the night. Okay, this way and this way. Okay, got it.
Protect two sides.
And no friends so I can farm.
The sound I heard when I was passed out. It was you, sharpening your sword. I got some dirt on it on the way back. It had better be sharp enough. My neck is sturdier than you might think. That's not for you to decide. Huh. Are we on top of a spire? I am not going to let you jump off, if that's what you mean. As I said, there are no second chances. It almost sounds like you want me to live. It doesn't matter what I want. It's my responsibility. You also have your own responsibilities, don't you? You return to Lathanian. Don't run away again like a child. Perhaps your employer forgot to mention this, but Graf Erdika's dead. But the Erdika Grafschaft still exists. You're still the last of House Erdika. But I never wanted. Running away doesn't make problems disappear. No one can choose a birth. In that sense, we're all the same. Is that what you tell yourself to justify serving an executioner, that evil old fart, that you had no choice but to become his follower? 9. It's how I remind myself what it took to gain the freedom I have now. What? Using the name Erdika, the one you call an evil old fart, changed my family's destiny. Everything I do today is to protect the hard-earned freedom of myself and many like me. You're thanking the Witch King? I'm just stating a fact. A fact, huh? What about the fact that he spilled so much blood? What about the fact that his remnants have claimed so many innocent victims? Did you think that you could ignore all the pain he inflicted on others just because of some convenient fact? The Witch King is dead. Let the historians, politicians, and everyone else with too much time on their hands judge his deeds. I'm a warrior. My only concern is the battle in front of me, and the battle to come. If he truly left anything behind, then whether his legacy is good or bad isn't up to him anymore. It's up to those who make use of it. As his heir, that's how you should be thinking. Don't you dare look at me like that! Your wounds are going to open up. I don't need sympathy from a remnant of the Witch King. Groff. Not another word. Ebonholes. Which of us do you really think isn't brave enough to face the facts of the Witch King? That'll do, Lessing. Welcome back.
Oh. I love his name right now. Cranky old man.
Ah, yes, cranky old man.
I love his beard. I like how it goes into a swirl.
Are the arts ready?
Arts?
Hopefully what's in your head will come in useful. Lamb of Urtica. Now let me see it. Arg! The melody is surprisingly intact, considering the Athenians know nothing of souls. Sometimes I wonder if these people meticulously recorded even what Shorn mumbled in his sleep. I almost miss those metaphors of his, when he used to curse out his tutor.
You miss when he used to curse out his tutor? My dude, why?
You knew the old fart? Who are you? Old fart, is that how you talk about the elders of your own family? I thought you Athenians were all about etiquette and manners. Well, that's the one thing you have in common with him, I suppose. I have nothing in common with them. Stop screaming. Are you a 3-month-old baby? Crying any louder won't make anyone listen. Why don't you do something useful with your mouth? I could teach you some vocal arts that can be cast with your tongue alone.
I kind of want to learn that. That sounds fun. Learning some arts that you can just cast with your tongue alone. Just be like, blah, 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 blah. Oh, look, something happened.
I'm not taking lessons. I'm a minion of the Witch King. A ball of arts? What... Was that what you hit the... was that what hit you that last time, Lessing? I was careless. How many times did I tell you? You need to do more than swing your sword around. Train your art's perception. I hope you never tell anyone I raised you, you stupid sheep. I never have. As for you, I suppose it's noteworthy that you can manage that without an arts unit. But your manipulation of energy couldn't be any more clumsy. Are you trying to blow yourself up? Who taught you how to use your legions like that? The imbeciles in the spires. It's all the Witch Kings. Fools. They learned from Shorn's madness, without a sliver of his skill. Arg! That's better, my little lamb. It's best that you stay put, for everyone's safety. Check the defensive enchantment, Lessing. Professor Hoffman is on his way. You should wait until he arrives. We need to get this over with quickly, before we draw the attention of the Empress's voice, and the Gesat's Watcher. Fine. Gerhard won't be much help, but it's not the worst thing for him to learn a lesson or two. The Genesis Horn. Humph, how long has it been?
Been far too long, I guess.
Carl Schmidt Street. That place again? It's just an old street where a bunch of failed artists make their homes. I've already investigated it more than enough times. More than a few times. Loris Borden received a phone call before his death. It was from an old baron by the name of Lucas, who lives on Carl Schmidt Street. Apparently, he's called for the Gendarmerie many times because of the noise in the streets.
In a way that kind of shows how, I guess, Ibbenholes, or maybe being little cranky buttholes is kind of runs in the Witch King's family, apparently. If the Witch King was known for, like, throwing tantrums and stuff. And heck, even cranky old man was like, ah, yes, you remind me of him. That is kind of a big oof if being super cranky like that runs in the family. And jumping to conclusions probably runs in the family too, since the Witch King was known for executing people so easily. Aw man, maybe the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree in that case. Oh, sadness. But then again, I shouldn't say that, because if I say that, then Edmund Holt will never let me summon him. The old nobles are all like that, overreacting to the smallest things. They think they can order the people down here around like servants, even though they've been kicked out of their spires. What I mean is, I wouldn't take it too seriously. Lord Borden's actions indicate the likelihood of a plausible lead there. Were you even listening? Just because he went there doesn't mean he thought it was worth investigating. He may have been a commander of the Gendarmerie, but he was just a vicegraf. And a houseless outsider at that. 20-year-old honor made him a little more than a glorified servant for the grand nobles of a place like Schwillingstern. He answered the Baron's call, not because it was a useful lead, but because he had to. The information has little reverence to the objective. Hey, don't just go, at least wait up! That shop. Frau Schultz's fine hats. I don't usually wear hats because of my halo. Just go in. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, mine dame. Oh, by your appearance, I take it you're a local? You could say that. Do you know how I can get to Carl Schmidt Street? I'm sorry, I'm new around here. I don't suppose young nobles like yourself leave their spies very often. I'll ask someone else. No need. Just follow the street until the fourth statue, then make a left. You'll see it in the distance. See what in the distance? You didn't know? Carl Schmidt Street is also known as Marigold Alley. Marigold. It's where the great composer Carl Schmidt once lived. He wrote some famous piece about marigolds under the sun, making the alley a kind of holy ground for art lovers. Ooh, hello, hello. Interesting. I've never read about that. A little anecdote, the kind you hear all over Schwillingstern. Hardly even a story. Well, danke. For the instructions and the story. Incidentally, you're not old enough to be buying a graduation cap, are you? Oh, I'm waiting for someone. Oh? If we happen to be heading to the same place, would you like to come with me? Thank you for the offer, but the music of the Kaiserinnen will guide me. Very well. May the melody of Schwillingstern be ever long and winding, like the rivers and the clouds. You can come out now. Explain your actions. That was an Empress's voice who just passed by. She seemed decent enough, but unfortunately, we're not walking the same path. Also, Federico, you're technically an outlaw right now. You're a little later than we agreed on, Viviana. I met a remarkable young man in the streets. Now I'm sure we're not the only ones looking into this case. You sound a little sad about that. Ja, the spy was practically a child. And... You stopped. What's the matter? I'm listening. The music of the Kaiserinnen is still playing. Schwillingstern still bathes in their wonderful melody. But can a melody played by divergent wills remain in harmony forever?
You fear the Empress's voice. Is your employer an enemy of the Empress's? Are you out of your mind? Don't ask that question out on the street! We'll be entering the alley soon. I'll ask then. Fine, if you want to know if I'm in league with the people who killed Loris Borden, absolutely not. I'm a Lupo, which I would hope is obvious. I was born near Syracusa. In the early years of the Witch King's reign, not long after Syracusa broke away from Lithanian, how do you think he and his followers treated my people? I was inquiring about you personally, not the history of your family. Is there a difference? I'd assumed that you made your own choices of your own free will. Free will? Not in my family. I was born to carry out our destiny.
Just like the lady who recently became an empress's voice, she went from Athenian to Cashmerish, and then from Cashmerish back to Athenian. Was any of that her own choice? I'm inferring that it's complicated. This will make it difficult to discern friend from foe. Huh. Why do you think they call it Arano Paradise? Stop. What's the matter? Carl Schmidt Street is just ahead. The Empress's voice went there. Maybe Borden really did find something. The alley has changed from before. It is too quiet. Are these pieces all by Frau Seemann? Ja, mein Dame. All drafts of Der Tod des Hexenkönigs. I didn't dare touch them, nor did I understand them, so I left them where they were. What about anything else from the past few years? The past few years. There's not much to show. She often said that her passion ended that autumn, 23 years ago. Would you like to pursue her earlier works? If you don't mind. Frau Seemann's early works are characterized by refined touches and bright, lively colors. Frida Seemann wanted to capture authentic emotions with her brush. She had an excellent memory and made good use of originium arts to recreate snapshots in time. She was still young when I saw her in the Witch King's Spire for the first time. She had an almost Minoan liveliness to her. Less of the stiffness of your average Lithuanian noblewoman. Her easygoing nature attracted people from all walks of life. Frida's friends used to hold poetry gatherings here in this alley. Your parents were among them. My parents? They came here too? Did they never tell you? This is where they met. Your father wasn't a Kurfürst in waiting quite yet. He came from Sturmland to Einwald and often participated in gatherings of young people in Marigold Alley. One day, a young woman of common stock mustered the courage to read a little poem she wrote at Frau Seemann's poetry gathering. And that was my mother? She never told me any of this. Her brow's always been furrowed, for as far back as I can remember. Lucinda Drost was a shy, gentle girl with soft, gleaming eyes. Gazing upon her was like sitting by the lakeside in summer, with a gentle breeze brushing by. That is such a beautiful way of describing someone. Werner fell in love at first sight, almost missing His Majesty's summons. If bronze hadn't covered for him, he would have been part of the statue in front of the spire by the time House Hochberg's soldiers arrived at Einwald. This was still during the reign of the Witch King? Hard to believe, isn't it? But that era was resplendent in its own way, much like the painting before you. A resplendent marigold. This painting looks familiar. I think I've seen it before. But where? Viviana. I'm sorry, but I need to take this painting away. Your mother is gone. I'll have someone clear out this room. I couldn't possibly leave you here with no one to take care of you. Someone will be here to take you away soon. Don't cry. You'll meet new friends out there. There'll be people who love you, even without Muti and Vati. You'll see the marigolds with your own eyes. See for me if they're blooming, like in the painting. A flower chasing the sun. The clouds above Sturmland rarely clear up. It was cold and wet up in the spire. Father tried many things and hired many casters, but could never get them to survive in the flower pots. But here in this tiny Zwillensturm alley, they're everywhere. It's warm. Where are you going, Viviana? An enemy? Viviana! Uh-oh. The music is faint, almost imperceptible. It seems distant, but also nearby. It transcends time, transcends memories, linking them in the same space. You're going back. Ernst's condition deteriorated rapidly. Even the best healers the twins could find couldn't save his life. Which means you could be the new Kurfürst of Sturmland. When I first came here, I thought I was going to be a poet. What about Lucinda? I certainly hope she'll come with me, but I won't force her. She's talented. She could become a great painter under Frau Seemann's tutelage. You love her and she loves you. Which is why I can't lie to her. I'm no longer the carefree youngest son of the Hochbergs. From this day forth, my life belongs to Sturmland and to the House Hochberg, not to myself. The nobles will have a whole gaggle of young ladies lined up, all vying to be my wife. I wouldn't be able to promise her anything, even if she were willing to come. If we lose the power struggle, she could end her days as a handmaiden in our spire. His Majesty, the Witch King is dead. The spire that towered over Lithanian has fallen. Our days of being slaves to her fate were expected to be left in the past. At the very least, we now know that the name of our fate isn't the Witch King. Just give it one last try, won't you? Either take her with you or stay here for her. Just like the night when the Witch King fell, I prayed the kind and gentle will have their happy ending. Dang, Cora is the ultimate wing woman, huh? The music grows clearer. Unlike the performance of the statues, the music is alive. Like a kindly hand, it pulls her forward, down the stairs, away from the wind and rain. It is close, almost there, down the stairs, and the sunlight is waiting outside.
The car's here.
Lucinda's not here. I must find her.
Everyone is waiting for you. The Witch King is dead. Your men must return to their lands in accordance with our agreement with the twins. You must leave the city before noon. The armies of the other Kurfürsten are watching your every move. Sturmland, 9. The fate of Lithanian falls on your shoulders.
When did you become such a stranger, Brant? You always wear that helmet. I can't see your eyes. Sometimes, I can't even tell if it's you speaking or another Gesatz watcher.
Because it makes no difference whether it's me or another Gesatz watcher. Lithanian cannot afford another civil war. Sturmland needs a Kurfürst who people will get behind. You're not here to protect me, are you? Just like you didn't protect Ernst, our father, that night. Do you remember, Werner? When I was selected for the Gesatz watcher training, I came to you and Ernst when I told you I wanted to stay. You grew up with us and swore fealty to the House Hochberg. You didn't want to go back on your vow. But you told me you were defending something far more important than any person's life, more important than House Hochberg. I never forgot that, not even for a moment. Alright then. Is fate truly so imposing to resist, Brant? No, don't go. Don't give up hope.
At least, not so easily. Oh, pretty! The young Kurfürst turns around and leaves, but Viviana does not want to follow. She tries her hardest to go back. A golden glow always fills the alley in autumn. Her mother must be somewhere in there, simply unable to make it in time. She runs, she searches. Marigolds bloom under the sun, just like the hopes her parents once had for the future. She wants to grab a hold of her mother, to grab a hold of her father's silhouette from the memory. As though she could change something if she did. Aww. Change the tragedy that was her father's life, and change her own. Year after year, the golden flowers take in the city's joy, anger, and sorrow, remaining as bright as ever in bloom. But some blooming hopes were left behind forever, 23 years ago. Why? Why couldn't I grab it? Is fate truly so impossible to resist? Viviana, around you! Viviana looks up in a trance. The music stops. The melody seems to freeze in place, then becomes rushing energy. Like dark clouds, the arts near the sunlight tear apart and rush toward her. Ugh! No need to fear, I'm here with you. A cello. Mental arts. The music is awakening our memories of Werner. Mother, father. Over here, Viviana. I'll cover your ears with my hands. They're gone. I couldn't change anything. Don't listen to it. Whatever you're seeing in your imagination isn't happening in present. The remnants of the Witch King are in this alley. They knew we were coming. There are too many of them. I can't deal with them all. We need to escape. Another sound emerges. It is like a melody, but cannot be sung. It is like a bell, but continues without pausing. It is a declaration that rings in the chambers of the heart. Like the brightest setting sun, radiant purple arts shine through the clouds and fill the streets. This melody, the Gesat's Watcher? Brunt, is that you?
Take Werner's daughter inside. As for you, embers of evil, filthy dregs picked up from the trash heap. How dare you defile Stern?
Oh, and now we fight. Tonight's MVP has to be Cora. I like her, she cool. She a real one. Ooh, hello, hello. Did I see the new updates and units? Well, does that mean... Are you referring to my lovely wife W? If yes, then of course! Oh, she's so beautiful! I need to summon her. She has to come home for me. If she doesn't, I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be very, very, very sad. I have regular W's outfit, like, I bought it in the store, ready for her if she ever lets me summon her. But, you know, if she doesn't let me summon her, if I can get W alter, that's fine too. You know, W for the win. No matter what, I'll get my W. Cries. I wish, I wish. Ah yes, Logos too, he cool. He's also cool. But W though. The love for W is just even more intense and oopsies! Oh, my bad. Oh no, no. I mean, this is fine. I could always change the tune of the melody, but no, I like the speed. I love the speediness. I have problems. Maybe I shouldn't have let that go on for too long. But nah, it's fine. Can I get her from here? Dang, too far. It's okay though. We got this. Oh, she's not W Alter then? Oh, I saw people calling her W Alter. Oops. So I was just copying what I saw in comments. My bad. Okay, and there's just two more, so boop. Actually, I could do this too. Get rid of her. Ta-da! Yay! Baron Peter Lucas turns 23 this year. 73 this year. Oh, brain not working. 73, good for him. He inherited his title from his uncle 3 years ago. 6 months later, he moved to Carl Schmidt Street due to the expenses of maintaining the Lucas family spire. He enjoys Carl Schmidt's music, but hates the street. He finds the sunlight, the flowers, the youth's graffiti, and the jazz music coming from the nearby bar unbearable. He orders his servant to close the curtains, turns on the gramophone, and the room is immediately filled with the sound of cello. De Sancto was a truly talented musician, he thinks. So talented, he could almost forgive her for being Lateran. He plays 11 instruments, 10 of which he learned during the reign of the Witch King. To send the best melodies into the Genesis Spire, talented young musicians were put into a room and made to compose day and night. He loved the violinist, her delicate fingers, and the beauty mark at the edge of her palm. Tears flowed down his face when he visited Victoria for the first time and heard music from his homeland on the stage of the Royal Theatre. He kissed her for the first time. That was his elegant, dignified Lithuanian. He misses it. Oh, that's ominous looking.
Trying to destroy houses and escape in the chaos? There is nowhere for you to hide before the golden melody.
Arg!
You the last. Remove your mask and surrender to Lithuanian, and you will be spared the pain of a burning soul.
This pain is insignificant. Have you ever heard the Witch King's Reichsorsters play? The black forest of Einswald, the lakes and ports of Wurzgard, the storms of Sturmland. Anything you can imagine about Lithuanian, you could feel in the melody. The Witch King did not interpret her conduct. He simply walked amongst them. As for his musicians, you had to follow the guidance of his sightline and keep a tight pace with them. Fall out of line and you were ripped apart by the magnificent melody.
The Witch King's favorite punishment for those too weak to serve him.
But I kept up. I became part of the transcendent melody. Since then, I could no longer tolerate playing for the mediocre. The designs are pretty cool. Whenever I see masks with symbols on it, I think of Squid Game. Yeah, Squid Games, but because I know it's a music themed thing, I can see her mask design or their mask designs being like a fancier music note.
What did you think you were? Interpreters of the great melody? Ideal-driven revolutionaries? 9. All I see are criminals hiding behind masks, killing the innocence of Lithuanian and undermining her peace and order. Clowns, burying their faces in the embers of the Witch King. Your life belongs to the golden melody now. But I suppose you were already dead from the moment you gave up your free will and became the Witch King's vessel.
Ugh. And what about you then? Aren't you wearing a mask yourself? The art you use, the golden melody, and the light of Lithuanian, passed down from generations of Gesatzwatcher, those who guard the goldenness Gesatz. Are you not also servant of the melody written by a greater will? There's a difference here. You are wearing a mask, he is wearing a helmet.
Even the greatest individual will is nothing before Lithuanian herself.
Then, is it Lithuanian's golden melody that pronounces my death sentence, or you yourself?
Is this your escape plan? Do you think that the will of the Gesatzwalcher would waver before such cliches? Preposterous.
Why would I need an escape plan? I was chosen to find you. The concert master wants to know. When the events of 23 years ago echoed in your ears just now, did you see Ernst von Hochberg, for whom help would never arrive in time? Or his brother Werner, who died in sorrow as the Kurfürst he never wanted to be? The Witch King's cultist body turns into dust and under the power of dual Originium arts. Only her last words remain with the ashes. Brant Reiner, you cannot avoid a choice forever. On that day, 23 years ago, Father didn't wait for Mother. They missed each other. Lucinda went to the spice market before coming to the studio that morning. She wanted to try different incense, see if it would lift her spirits. She did not know that she was already with child. Mother went to Sturmland in the end. She loved you, and she loved Werner. She could not have raised you on her own if she'd stayed in Schulingstern. She knew that Werner had already gotten married, but she had no other choice. Oh, that is messy. Oh no. Oh no. Wait. How fast did he get married? I'm assuming she went there before she gave birth, like, yo, I'm pregnant with your baby, but still. How quickly did Werner get married at that point? Like, what? Father had a choice. 10 minutes. If Werner had waited another 10 minutes, he'd have met Lucinda and known that she was willing to face it all and fight by his side. He regretted those 10 minutes for the rest of his life. Just 10 minutes. So what happened to the wife? What? I know. He never told me, but I knew. A marigold and the moon. It was never meant to be. It was a dream that, upon waking, they knew to be beyond reach, words spoken only to comfort. Don't you blame your father? I can't. We're too alike. You told me that he aspired to be a poet, but he never once recited a poem in front of me. Wow, look at them all taking after the dads. It was only after I returned to Lathanian that I realized, when someone no longer has the strength to face reality, the illusions that once brought hope now bring only pain. Viviana, you've been busy since your father's passing, shuttling from Sturmland to Schulingstern. All I want to say is, it's alright to express your sorrow. I just want to rest for a while. Just for a little while. Cora says no more. She closes the curtains before she leaves. The darkness wraps around Viviana like a familiar blanket. Cora knows her well, knows what brings her comfort. Cora's been living a wild life. She knows all the tea. Like, holy cow. What a big oof. She gazes upon the paintings in the room, now covered in shadow, and the golden times depicted within gaze back at her. Fortunately, the arts in that music didn't cause Viviana any real damage. But they brought back memories of Werner, as they did for us, and it must be even more painful for her.
You're injured.
Yeah, that is pain. I am. Oh, this wasn't from the battle. I must have bumped myself when I was downstairs chasing after Viviana.
Why not try the therapeutic machine I brought back from Colombia?
I didn't lose my eyesight yesterday, Brant. I've managed on my own for the past 20-some years. You, though, something's off with your voice. Were these enemies that tough?
What an absurd notion.
That's more like you. I wish you'd take off your helmet and catch your breath once in a while, though. Even the finest instrument succumbs to wear and tear when used non-stop.
I don't deserve to rest. The Gendarmerie is on their way. They'll take it from here. You should leave before they arrive.
No, but we're so close to the truth.
Lathania has not fallen so far as to need to entrust her future to a blind instrument tuner and a retired competition knight.
The cultists are looking for the Witch King's legacy. Frida and Loris were witnesses to that night. Werner, House Hochberg, was part of that coup as well. If they're killing witnesses to complete some sort of ritual, they'll be looking for their next target.
Which is why you need to listen to me and stop your investigation.
Oh man, both of them are targets, aren't they? What about you, Brant? You were there on that day of the coup too.
I am a guardian of Lithanian's will. A few Witch King worshippers won't get me. Besides, they laid an ambush for you here. You're the ones they're targeting.
I think they're just targeting all of you. They probably knew you were gonna come here, Mr. Gesa's Watcher. But how did they know we were coming? Could Viviana really be right, and Frida's paintings hold an important clue? I believe so. Her Reiner, please allow me to continue the investigation. I want to know what Frau Seemann left behind.
You're holding the draft to her final work.
Regret. The strongest emotion and desire that the painter had ever felt in her life. Ooh, good night, good night. She spent her last days painting it over and over again. Through the strokes of her brush, she wanted to see the divine in her heart.
You're saying those haphazard strokes were intentional?
Yeah. It looks messy because she painted on the same sheet over and over again. The scene of the Witch King's death is still in the draft. Put the painting on the ground, Viviana. Okay. Brunt, try to play it.
Tell me when to stop.
Ooh, what a sound! It's vibrating, like a musical instrument. Yeah. There are minute differences in each layer of paint. I can't see, but my arts allow me to hear the frequency of each layer. Almost there, just remove the layer of the paint above and we'll find the very first version. Do you see it? It's blurry, but I can tell that it's the interior of a spire. It's imposing. The Witch King's spire. I imagine that Frida could only paint a small part of it. Can you identify the figures in the painting? There's no Witch King. The throne is empty. The battle seems to be over. The painter herself, Frida Seemann, is behind the curtain. There is a library soldier charging in from the hallway. Loris Borden? And, who is this Cabernet holding an arts unit and cleaning up?
Gerhard Hoffman, one of the most talented casters in all of Ironworld. Formerly in service to House Erdica, he became a teacher after the Witch King's death.
Okay. We were late. These lunatics don't care how many innocents they kill.
You're injured. I can treat your wounds.
Danke.
Where's Baron Lucas? Is he upstairs? The Baron didn't make it. He'd been talking about moving for a while. We wouldn't have gotten caught up in this at all if we hadn't... we wouldn't have gotten caught up in all this if we hadn't put the plans on hold just because of the Sancta Cellus playing in that area. What did their performance sound like? Do you want to hear it? The Baron had me record it. I wonder if the gramophone's still alright.
Huh, you actually found a clue.
Loris Borden found it.
Is it Artoria?
Yes. I may not be able to recognize the live performance or not, but I would never mistake her playing.
Are we in trouble then?
No need to fear. There are no arts in the recording, and she isn't nearby. Someone broadcasted her performance on the street a few minutes ago.
And her arts worked over such a large area?
She must have accomplices. It would only be possible through a combination of Lithanian arts and her own.
You can tell all that just from listening to this.
This section here. It is not the sound of a cello. It's a pipe organ, and one of uncommon size.
A huge pipe organ.
It's an unusual instrument. Where might you find one in Schullingsturm?
Ludwig's Universitat.
A school?
Ja. It used to be the spire of learning for House Erdica. Oh, time to go to school. His head hurts. He has not felt such pain since he escaped Weisheim. When was the last time it hurt so much that he wanted to scream, to vomit, to cry? It was... He could remember. He just didn't want to.
Say something. Gloat. Why don't you? You're on the cusp of victory, after I've kept you trapped in my head for so long. When I die, I sure hope I get a proper death. Unlike you, who's been dead long enough to crumble to dust, only to be pieced back together and brought back to life. What is he babbling about? You haven't started the ritual yet, have you? Not yet, Professor. He looks like he's in pain. Can he really take it? He's from Herkampfshorn's bloodline. If he can't even take this much, then Evigeganade must have intentionally raised him to be useless. He's suffered much for his age. If he's unable to bear it, interrupting the performance of the voice of Mundane could cause the Genesis Horn to go out of control and affect all of Ludwig. I'm here. The spire will hold. But you swore an oath to Her Majesty that you would not reveal the true extent of your powers. She'd have to answer to the nobles if the students learned of your identity. Ludwig's Universitat may be shut down, which would affect your relocation plans. And Ermi will give you an earful when she gets back to Lithanian. Bah! Keeping this boy alive is harder than summoning the Genesis Horn. Where's Lessing? He's standing watch outside. He said that he'll ensure that no one can enter before the ritual is complete. Bah! Nothing more than keeping his mind from being torn to pieces. Where's the device I made for those nutjobs in Bolivar? Are you alright? Huh. It's okay. They left the room. We met not too long ago. Forest Park. Ja, I wanted to warn you, but Lessing was there. I couldn't take you away with him watching. Lessing... He's not evil by nature, but he can be stubborn. I used to be like him too, but all it takes to change his courage. Ja... Can you move? Try to grab my hand. What are you doing, Gerhard? I'm sorry, Professor. I can't let you use Herkampfshorn's bloodline like this. He's a living, breathing soul, one with a bright future. Spatial defense arts. I taught you those! You also taught me that even the most powerful arts cannot erase regret. I've caused a lot of harm with the arts you taught me. But when I'm alone at night, I often ask myself, how many souls would have continued to shine brightly had I not done what I did? Will we be living in a better times, where the people around us have been better? Will we be better ourselves? That's why I gave up on being a spirecaster and became a scholar. What are you babbling about, Gerhard? You're making a big mistake. Step away from the boy. A mistake? 9, Professor. I'm saving his life, and I'm not going to miss my chance this time. I'm fixing the biggest mistake that we ever made.
Well, he's the real one. Maybe Ebenholz can escape.
Fingers crossed.
We should believe in the boy. And now to go to summoning. I will use these. Fingers crossed. Maybe one of them will love me now because I went through part of the story. They're like, Misaki, thank you for learning about me. Or not just yet.
Oh,
I got someone new.
Hello, Verdant.
Now there's Deward.
術師のスチュワードです。ひとまずよろしくお願いしますね。
Next is
私はアンブリエル。
Umbriel.
の出身の狙撃手。でさ、自己紹介なんてめんどいからもうこんぐらいでいいっし しょ。
I want some chocolate.
さっき開けたばっかのチョコ。
I love chocolate.
まあ一本食っときなって。
アーススピリット
Viviana's family is just wild.
オペレーターとして着任させていただくわ。
Now that is the biggest
机の勤
oof.
務時間は8時間。
Daddy should have waited 10
別に払って
minutes.
もらうわよ。
But nah, he wants to leave on the dot, I guess. A new Earth Spirit?
こんにちは。
Arturia's being herself, doing what she wants, playing music to inspire others.
ムースの手、そんなにジロジロ見ないでも
I'm glad that Federico met an ally. And ooh, moose.
メランサです。この刃、あなたのために振るわせてください。
And now there's Melantha. Boop. Next is
どうも
Spot.
行動予備隊 A6 のスポットだ。俺の仕事はいつも無茶するメンバーたちを守ってやることだと思う。
Okay.
こんにちは。
Hello, Gray.
僕は
Little
グレイと
Gray
言います。電気関係のお仕事がちょっと
Precious little
得意
Gray.
です。僕を必要としてくれてありがとうございます。
Oh, he's so cute.
お客様、私に最
Hello,
高の笑顔を
Midnight.
見せてくれませんか。この私がいる限り、幸せという名の贈り物が絶えずあなたのもと
If happiness is at arm's reach, can you help me with my summons, Midnight?
いつでもご指名をお待ちしております。
Would you like to do the pull for me? Please?
はじめまして、ドクター。ロドスの中外オペレーター、風丸です。本日よりロドス本館
Kazemaru is just so cute. Okay, that wasn't too bad.
Soon enough.
28 pulls into this banner right now. See the little number? And I have a few more multi-pull tickets.
Hiya!
Ooh.
ドクター、こんにちは。
Oh, hello,
この装備
Gray.
は
Older
僕の
Gray.
卒業制作なんですが、
It's a
実は
gray kind of day.
こんな風に仕上げるつもりなんてなくて。作戦編成候補に加える？クロージャさんがドクターに卒業制作テストを任せるっておっしゃっていたのはこういうことだったんですか。
Yes, indeed, Gray.
プリムと申します。以前は
Hey there,
ラクランの
Plume.
兵隊に所属しておりました。あなたの矛となり翼となり命をお守りするために戦う所存です。
And the next is
コードネームはパインコーンです。
Hello, Pine
今
Cone.
日からロドスで働かせていただきます。
Sorry, I haven't seen your portable battery around.
私の携帯用バッテリーを見かけませんでしたか？
Yeah, sorry, haven't seen that.
どうも。私はメテオ。森の弓使いよ。エントリー支援はいかが？
Which is the cast got my attention the most so far? Korra. She's been through so much. She's seen so many things. She experienced so many things. Meteor now for summons. But yeah, Korra.
行動予備隊 A6 カタパルト。
And ooh,
着任
catapult.
です。さてさて、あんたはあの僕年じゃなくて尊敬すべきドーベルマン教官とは全然違うタイプ。そうだよね。一目でわかるよ。
5 star.
ドクターこんにちは。エンジ
Winflit.
ニア部の新入りウィンドフリットです。僕の能力を評価しての採用だなんて本当にありがとうございます。
You're welcome, Winflet.
医師見習いのハイビスカスです。みんなからはハイビスって呼ばれてます。今日から
Hibiscus, I want to try some of your healthy food.
管理をしていきますのでよろしくお願いします。
I'm willing.
お客様、私に最高の笑顔を見せてくれ。
Midnight, you said happiness is at arm's reach. Help me with my pulls, my dude. You know you want to bless my gotcha luck. Come on, Midnight.
You know you wanna. Midnight.
交流のためにラテラーノ教皇庁第6
Hey,
長から
Spiria.
ロドスに派遣されたスプリアよ。そうだ、安全検査を避けるために荷物には自爆装置がついてるから。まあ中身も全部無害ってわけじゃないんだけどね。
3-star.
こんにちは。
Hey there,
こん
Cardigan.
な大きな移動施設に来たんでちょっと興奮気味です。あ、カーディー族のメイリーです。あなたがドクター？
And yes, I'm the doctor. Okay, and now another one. Yeah. Oh. I thought my luck was only going up from
こん
here.
にちは、ドクター。
Ha 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 ha.
おでんこです。お時間があったらドクターも温室に来てください。
Ooh, congratulations on getting both of them. And ooh, Podenko now. Milanta.
メランサです。この刃、あなたのために振るわせてください。はじめまして、ドクターくん。私
Aw,
は
perfumer.
パフューマーのラナ。あら、パフューマーって聞いたことない？こんにちは。私初め
Hey
て
there,
こんな大きな
Cardigan.
移動施設に来たんでちょっと興奮気味です。あ、カーディー族のメイリーです。あなたがドクター
3-star.
今日からお世話になります。
Steward.
術師のスチュワードです。ひとまずよろしくお願いしますね。
Thanks, Steward. 3-star.
どうも。
What?
行動予備隊 A6 のスポットだ。俺の仕事はいつも無茶するメンバーたちを守ってやることだと思う。
3-star.
医師見習いのハイビスです。
Hibiscus, may I please have some food?
ハイビスって呼ばれてます。
I'll take the healthy food. I'll eat it.
の健康管理をしていきますのでよろしくお願いします。バーミル、
Vermeil.
俺に仕事をくれ。失望はさせねえからさ。
4-star.
こんにちは。
Moose.
ムースと呼んでください。ムースの手そんなにジロジロ見ないでもらえますか？
She's adorable.
行動予備隊 A6 の隊長オーキッドよ。ドクターというのはあなたのこと
Hey,
かしら。
Orchid.
これからよろしくお願いするわ。
Okay. Next one for sure. Yeah. See, I told you next one. Ha ha. I'm scared though. What if it's none of them? What if it's neither of them, I mean? But no, it should be at least one of them. Well, it's gonna be at least one of them, right?
あなたのために振るわせてください。
Milantha.
こんにちは、ドクター。おでんこです。
Podenko.
お時間があった
Take your guess of which one it's gonna be. What 6-star will grace me? Hey, the Kitano.
はじめまして、ロープって呼んで。ああ、これ君の ID カードだよ。
Hey, the rope.
どうして僕が持ってるのかって？それは秘密だよ。
Sorry, rope.
ごきげんよう、
Oh!
ドクター。マーガレットか
Yay, Viviana.
かねがね伺っております。大騎士寮にいらしていた時にお目にかかれなかったのが残念です。あの頃は私もまだ食騎士と呼ばれておりました。今はどうぞビビアナとお呼びくださいね。
I was so scared I was gonna get someone who's not rate up. But you know, I'm satisfied. Not really, I need both. I'm greedy.
グリムマハトの命に従い参上いたしました。ドクターとは友好的な関係を築いていけたらと思いますので、今後ともどうぞよろしくお願いします。専属のトランスポーターでも学士でも何なりとお申し付けください。
Thank you.
私はフェン、やり使いです。新米チームの隊長もしています。ロドスの力になれるよう。
And yes, because I said I like Korra, right? That's why Viviana came home. She's like, I too like Korra. Oh, another verdant. I'm surprised. I might just max him.
ああ、植物ハンターというのはここにサインをするだけでいいの？本当に？
どうも。
Hey, the meteor.
森の弓使いよ。遠距離支援はいかが？
私は王室探
Hey,
偵
they're
の
me.
メイと申すのだ。捜査に協力してもらうのだ。え？場所が違う？そんなはずないのだ。あのペンギンがここにいるという証拠を掴んでいるのだ。
That is a good pool. Look at them right next to each other. But another one. Hey, Arturia. Okay, blue. You know, that's fine.
バニラと申します。訓練生としてここで勉強
Hey, Vanilla.
ドクター、今後はよろしくお願いいたします。
合同予備隊 A6
Hey, the catapult.
着任です。さてさて、あんたはあの僕年じゃなくて尊敬すべきドーベルマン教官とは全然違うタイプ。そうだよね。一目でわかるよ。
And now,
こんにちは。
cardigan.
私初めてこんな大きな移動施設に来たんでちょっと興奮気味です。あ、カーディー族のメイリーです。あなたがドクター？医師見習いのハイビス
More
です。
hibiscus.
みんなからはハイビスって呼ばれてます。
Seriously, hibiscus, next time you show up, can I please have some food?
健康管理をして
I'll eat your healthy cooking.
よろしくお願いします。
It can't be that bad. It'll always keep me alive, right?
術師だ。暇でしょうがなかったからなんとなくここに来たってわけなんだが。
I like how lava came on right after her.
ここにいるって聞いてな。今から抜けてもいいか？
Sorry, no quitting.
バニラと申します。訓練生としてここで勉強させていただきます。ドクター、今後はよろしくお願いいたします。
Oh, Vanilla, you're so cute.
医師見習いのアンセルです。
外科のアシスタントを担当します。
Hey,
よ
Anzo.
ろしくお願いいたします。
Arturia, you know you wanna come home because I have
医師見習いのハイ
I have Federico, you know you wanna spend some time with him.
今日からドクターと
Come on, it can be a family reunion.
管理をしていきますのでよろしくお願いします。
And hello, Hibiscus. Where's my food?
コードネームはアシッドドロップ。このスケボーも登録済みの僕の装備だ。それじゃ何かあれば僕に任せて。
Yay for acid drop.
報道予備隊 A6
And catapult.
着任です。
Or heck, since Viviana's here, why doesn't Arturia wanna pop up from behind?
尊敬すべき
Just like in that PV.
全然違うタイプ。そうだよね。一目でわかるよ。
Oh, that blue pool. And now, another one. Hiya! Ooh. Back to yellow.
リピコっていうの絵描きをしてるよ。そうただの絵描きだよ。
Hey there, deep color.
はじめましてドクター。プレゼントにこれをどうぞ。僕の
Thank
集
you,
めた鉱物が
Chestnut.
入った標本ケースで転生石に緑
I like how whenever I summon him, he just gives me
こ
a
っちが
gift.
電気石で
It's
これが
wonderful.
玉髄。
Such a sweetheart.
はじめまして上官論面消防署所属のショーです。どうぞよろしくお願いします。
Thank you, Shaw.
こんにちは。僕は
Precious
グレ
Gray.
イと言います。電気関係のお仕事がちょっと得意です。僕を必要としてくれてありがとうございます。
Boop.
私はフェン、やり使いです。新米チ
Yee
ーム
for
の隊長
Fang.
もしています。ロドスの力になれるよう、チームメンバーと共に全力を尽くす覚悟です。
報道予備隊 A6
Hey there, young catapult.
着任です。
She's coming home a lot tonight.
さてあんたは僕年じゃなくて尊敬すべきドーベルマン教官とは全然違うタイプ。そうだよね。一目でわかるよ。はじめましてドクター。新人オペレーターのジャッキーだよ。前はクルビアで補助警察をやってたんだ。
Oh, Jackie, you're adorable.
医師見習いのハイビスカスです。
Hey,
みんなからは
Hibiscus.
ハイビスって呼ばれてます。
So, about that healthy
ロ
food.
ドスの皆さんの健康
No?
管理をしていきますのでよろしくお願いします。
Come on.
医療オペレーターのススーロです。
Oh, Susuro, you're
ドクター
adorable.
は各方面に精通していてオペレーターたちの指導者って聞いたけど医者の言うことはちゃんと聞いてもらうよ。
5 star.
リターニアの女帝
Oh,
グリムマ
we're
ハトの命
baseline.
に従い参上いたしました。ドクターとは友好的な関係を築いていけたらと思いますので今後ともどうぞよろしくお願いします。専属
Oops, sorry, my boy. You know, I can do another one. Let's just do one more. This'll be the last one for the night. Because I bought the outfits that I want. Actually, no, I didn't buy all the outfits that I wanted, but I bought the main ones that I wanted. In an ideal world, I would have all the outfits in the store. But last one for the night. I kind of want to go again, just because I don't want to end on a blue pool, but you know, it's okay. Blue is a pretty color. I like blue. And at least I got Viviana, so it's okay, you know, it's okay. Thank you, Spot.
私はフェン、
Thanks, Fang.
新米チームの隊長もしています。ロドスの力になれるよう、
チームメンバーと共に全力を尽くす覚悟です。
Watch, Artoria's gonna come home for my free pull tomorrow. Definitely, yeah, that's what's gonna happen, alright? Nate Ansel. You're my broken heart. Hey, Meteor.
遠距離支援はいかが？
Hey, Jackie.
新人オペレーターのジャッキーだよ。前はクルビアで補助警察をやってたんだ。これから仲良くやろうね。
Yes, we're gonna get along.
バーミでハンターだ。俺に仕事をくれ。失望はさせねえからさ。
Thank you, Vermeil. Can you please help me hunt down Artoria?
君が訓練場のボス？ドクターって君の名前？
Will you help me, Bubble?
でも君丈夫そうに見えないぞ。まあいいか。僕はバブル。今のところ部族では一番弱いけど、パパの次ぐらいに強くなれるように訓練してもらうぞ。
She's adorable.
行動予備隊 A6 の
Speaking of adorable, Popcar.
A6 もみんなやっぱり喧嘩が多くてドクターも心配だよね。ポップカル、どうすればいいのか知ってるよ。
コードネーム
No, I got Aren.
今日からは正式所属になるらしいよ。あんたがドクターか。
No worries, my boy. We'll get along.
これからは仲良くなれるといいね、先生。
Especially if you help me find Artoria. We'll be the best as a friend.
ビーグルって言います。まあ採用テストはギリギリでした
Oh,
けど、
Beagle, you're so precious.
見習いとして頑張ってお役に立ちたいと思います。
How many of the packs did I get? I got that $50 pack. I got the big one because I thought that would be enough, you know? I was kind of banking on my bad luck in Blue Archive, meaning that I'm gonna have like awesome luck inside of Arknights, which wasn't a lie since I did get Viviana. You know, I can afford it actually. Look, look, look. I have enough of those, the primes. I don't want to end on a blue, so let's just go for it. Watch me. Oh yeah, I don't have enough yellow tickets yet, but I might after all these summons. You'll watch me get her right now because I'm doing this. Okay, it didn't happen, but on the bright side, it was not blue.
人を見る目があるな、ボス。世界で一番強い地下剣闘士とは値のことさ。
Hey there, Bee Hunter.
リターニアの女帝グリムマハトの
I think I'm gonna max baseline before I get Artoria.
ドクターとは友好的な関係を築いていけたら
But
と思
he's
い
a
ます
good
の
boy.
で、今後ともどうぞ
Or at
よろ
least I
しくお
think
願
he
い
is
し
so
ます。
far.
専属のトランスポーターでも学士でも何なりとお申し付けください。
メランサです。この刃。
I gotta go to the shop after this and see how many yellow tickets I have. And hey, Melantha.
すみません。ドクターの執務室はこちらでよろしかったでしょうか。ドクター
Oh,
はい
yay
らっ
for
しゃいま
Vigna again.
え？あなたがドクター？
Ooh, hello, hello.
私はビグナ。
So far, I've gotten Arturia. I mean, just kidding. I wish I got Arturia. I lied. I got Viviana. Which is still good. Wallet Kun saved the day for Viviana. If I didn't use Wallet Kun, I wouldn't have gotten her. For Arturia, though. Oh gosh. Arturia.
訓練が必要なもののリストを見せてくれ。
Hey, Doberman.
どうも。私は
Hey, Meteor.
森の弓使いよ。遠距離支援はいかが？
あれれ
Hey,
ここ
Kura.
はどこ？僕は誰？
She's so confused. But she's got the right spirit.
合同予備隊 A6 カタパルト着任です。
More catapult.
さてさて、あんたは僕年じゃなくて、尊敬すべきドーベルマン教官とは全然違うタイプ。そうだよね。一目でわかるよ。
医師見習いのハイビスカスです。みんなからはハイビスって呼
Hi, Hibiscus. So, did you bring me some healthy food this time? No, next time? Okay, fine. It's okay.
はいはい、クルーズですよ。
Hi, hi,
未
Cruz.
熟者ですが、これから頑張りますよ。
Now, let's see. How many tickets do I have now? I'm curious. I am very, very curious. Ooh, I bumped up to 193. Oh, yeah. But I'm not gonna start buying until I actually have enough to buy it all. But hey, you know, it's okay. There's still time. There's hope in the world. She will come home eventually. I at least got one win tonight. Let's just stare at her beauty. Slowly gonna be scrolling. It's just stare at her. So many people I gotta raise, but you know, we'll just stare at her beauty. Look at Viviana. Oh, so beautiful. Stare. Lots and lots of staring. Yeah, lots and lots of staring. So that's a win. Soon enough, Artoria will love me back. She will grace me and she will play me a tune. She will inspire me. Come on, I want to be inspired, you know? It would have been perfect to come home in time for finals, Artoria. You know you want to boost me. It's okay though, she'll come home eventually. So with that being said, thank you for stopping by the stream. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day in epic gacha luck. Overall, I am satisfied. So see you guys later. Bye bye. Come on, Artoria, you know you wanna play me a tune. You wanna inspire me.